The beautiful palm trees in the background means we are at one place, Fallujah Speedway Park, as all roads lead to Florida for championship night. As we welcome you to live coverage of Monday Night Madness with the Coast to Coast Racing League, we've got a fun one set for you as we are bringing you all three championship divisions. The point standings, very exciting coming on into the night. In the Renegades divisions, many drivers have a chance at the championship. Patrick Spangler has a 17-point lead rather, over Blake Chapman coming on in. Ross Carina, though, meanwhile, is 21 back. Each of them have a win this season and have one drop remaining. But one guy you got to watch out for if he races is Steven Gollner. He has to make this race tonight or else he will not be in contention to win this championship. In the Rebels B division, meanwhile, it's come down to Rob Everton and Brennan Lacey. One-on-one, 5 points separate them without the final drop. But we begin things here tonight in the Raiders division. And here are how the standings look. 5 drivers mathematically eligible for the championship. Bruce Hilton comes in with just about a 15-point lead on Jack Hitt. And then you've got 18 points back. It's Brian Moore Sr. And then Mike Schultz and Zach Neubauer. Right now, they likely don't have a chance in it. But if something happens amongst the top 3, anything can happen with Schultz and Neubauer. Good afternoon, friends. I should say good evening, friends. Marty Sakala alongside John Hine with you. John, great to be with you once again here. One of my favorite nights of the season, championship night here at Fallujah. You just don't know what to expect in all 3 divisions of the 360 Sprint Car class.
No, you don't. It's going to be an unpredictable night. All 3 divisions being up for grabs. And the cool part about this is now what this is going to create on track is guys are going to have very different agendas. Guys are going to want to be taking it, as cautious as they can, not getting incident points. But the thing is, they're all going to have to go. You just can't lay up and hope you got to bring it home. Everybody is going to have to race here tonight. And those guys that are not in those championship fights could come into play. You don't want to see any of those guys come in and decide a championship, but Marty, it could very well happen here tonight.
Pre-race show was brought to you by Icon Sim Sports, the official sim racing chassis of the Coast to Coast Racing League. Qualifying happening on track around Fallujah. Always a fun one when we come here for championship night. You never know what group's going to come intact until feature time. Bryce Eichmeyer on the track, his first lap in his number 011 machine goes 13.330. Michael Birthday, though, looking pretty good in a quick time situation. He takes the 95 to the top of the charts at a 13.311. Second lap for Birthday. Let's see how it looks off of turn 4. It looks a little bit better. We'll take a look. And oh man, Brian Moore Sr. takes the 558 up top. Not expected. 13.294 for the former Renegades driver in the 558. We go to Mike Schultz in the number 016 Ream Schultz heating and cooling machine off of turn 4. Will we have a better second lap? From the looks of it, he won't. He'll be in 5th position. Austin Marla takes his 999 car to 3rd position on the track. 2 guys that have yet to qualify. First off, Chuck Gentile in the 666 machine. Lap 1 time for Chuck Gentile goes 12th quick at a 13.52. Here's Zach Neubauer, one of the championship contenders in the number 52. First lap time for Zach Neubauer. He takes it 8th at a 13.43. Off of turn 4 for Gentile, goes up to 12th. And now for Zach Neubauer in 3 and 4. Final driver here to qualify. As we have 16 drivers that will take the green for our feature tonight. Neubauer keeps it 8th. So with a quick time of 13.294 in the number 558, ladies and gentlemen, Brian Moore Sr. So John, what did we learn there from C Division qualifying? Low side looks to be the case right now, but as normal when it comes to Coast Racing, it will go up and up and up and up.
Yeah, it should. And the thing is, as it's going up, there's going to come a point in time where the bottom's going to become viable again. Maybe for the entire race, maybe for just a period of time. So guys are going to have to continue to read the track. But judging here by qualifying, though, the first salvo of the night is fired by Brian Morris Sr. here. He is in that championship fight. It goes a long way to start your night being the quickest guy in the field. So, he's going to have that momentum carrying over into his heat race here. So these heats are going to be really important. You want to, usually, when I go to heats, the first object is getting the feature. But for these championship guys, with it being as tight as it is, they are going to want to win or get as far up in that in their heat races as they can.
Qualifying has been brought to you by ABR Setup Shop, an official setup provider of the Coast to Coast Racing League. Now, with that being said, it is time to meet our lineup for heat race number 1. The first heat of the evening is brought to you by Magnum Race Design. Magnum offering iRacing wraps, hero cards, logos, flyers, and even t-shirt designs. If you're looking for a new design and want attention to detail, competitive pricing, and fast turnaround times, check out Magnum Race Design on Facebook, where you can contact them directly through Messenger, the official sponsor of the 358 Modifieds. Here's the lineup here for our first heat race. It's Gentleman Jack Hitt on the pole position, lined up next to Mike Schultz. Row number 2, we've got Brian Moore Sr. and Austin Marlett. Sr. starting in 4th position due to the inversion. Row number 3, Dan McLaren looking to make a move up to Rebels if he can. Next to him is Pat Boyce in the 41. And row number 4, Tyler Bentley, who made his Rebels debut last night after placing top 10, starts next to Dean Meitzler. We'll see if Bentley can go back to back. Have 1 lap to go until we take the green flag. Drivers tonight will be following the Steve King Foundation Pace Truck, formed to help the dirt track racing community across the country by providing financial assistance to drivers, pit crew members, race officials, track ops personnel, or the immediate families of those individuals who suffer serious illness, injury, or death. We've got an onboard camera with you for tonight's Rebels event, and that is with the driver of the 016, that is Mike Schultz. Winner of this heat will start on pole position for our 20-lap feature tonight, as Hitt and Schultz are ready to bring them down to green for our first race activity of the night. The green flag is out. We're racing at Fallujah. Schultz comes down just in front of Hitt, nearly turned him off of turn number 2, and Schultz with the lead. There goes Jack Hitt inside on Brian Moore Sr. Looking to take away the second position, doesn't work. The quick timer, though, around the outside of the 217, and Moore Sr. is up to second spot, John.
Yeah, Brian gets around Jack there to take over the second spot, but he's got a little ways to go here to get Mike Schultz. Mike Schultz is also in that points channel championship battle along with Brian Moore, so those two guys got a lot to fight for here.
Brian Moore Sr. quickest lap last time by about 100th of a second. See how he does this time at the line. He is 200ths off of Mike Schultz. So Schultz picks up a couple of hundredths there. Pat Boyce in the 41, currently the final transfer spot at the moment. Here's what it looks like from the rear end of Mike Schultz on how he drives it. 0.4 of a second lead. That could be a consistent lead. Definitely what Schultz wants at the moment.
Yeah, Mike is just a little bit lower in the corners than what Brian Moore is, and he's just getting a little bit better of a run out of the corners here, but it really isn't. Looks like Brian's a little better getting in the corners, and that's just creating a stagnant time between the two cars.
Look closely at his onboard. No big issues with the wheel. He's driving it really smooth. Car not getting loose or tight. That's a perfect drive at the moment from Schultz. However, the last time by, Moore did get closer by about 1/10 of a second. This time 400ths closer as we're at the white flag. Who's starting for pole position and who's starting for third, as we've got 2 heats tonight. Off of turn 4, Mr. Schultz takes the checkered flag. Mike Schultz is on pole position tonight. Senior, Hitt, and Boyce round out the transfer spots directly to the feature. Everyone else will get some extra practice in our consi in just a moment. Our second heat race of the evening is brought to you by 2-1 Designs. 2-1 making wraps for all dirt racing needs, in addition to 118 scale RC wraps. We appreciate everyone's support that has trusted us in doing their wraps and paints. Here's your lineup for heat race number 2. Zach Neubauer and Bruce Hilton on the front row. Row 2, Bryce Eichmeyer and Michael Berthay. Row number 3, David Callahan and Chuck Gentile. And row 4, Steve Maurer and Bob Curtis. Again, we appreciate you tuning in tonight on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. Let us know who you are rooting for in the chat room. I know it's early right now. Of course, the big action coming up at 8 and 9 o'clock when we get the Rebels and the Renegades to go down. Andy Patton, our race director, watching. Good luck to all that are running for the championship. Bill Calder saying good luck to everyone. And then you've got Joe Dirt Canellis rooting for Austin in the 999. Austin, by the way, we didn't show this to you, crashed earlier in heat race number 1. Of course, the points are big in the Coast to Coast Racing League when it comes to championship night. We'll update the points at the end of every race, not at the end of the night. We'll update them at the end of every race so we can tell you who the champion is. How the points work in this series, they're increments of 3 amongst the top 4. Then from 4 down to 5th, it is increments of 2. So 75 for first, 66 for 4th, all the way down to 26 for the 24th place finisher. This will determine the outside of the top 12 tonight amongst the top 4. Here we go. Run to the inside for Berthay on Hilton as Neubauer gets the jump off of turn 2. Eichmeyer with the final transfer spot. Callahan on his tail. And off of turn number 4, it's Berthay in second. But Neubauer leads lap number 1. Mike Berthay's on the charge, though, at the moment. This was the guy that was second quick in time trials, John.
Yeah, he's moving up here, and our point leader is now battling for that 4th position here. And now Callahan, he's going to come under fire here from Callahan here for that 4th and final transfer position.
Let's remind everyone of the points coming on in. Bruce Hilton, 703 points. That's a 15-point lead on Jack Hick coming on in. Every starting spot matters. You're right. Berthay and Neubauer get together. Berthay all the way up on the outside, the chocolate chips. There's some slick stuff up there as well. He's fallen all the way back to 3rd. Nearly makes contact with Hilton. This is about to be good for the final transfer spot, John.
Yeah, it is. From 2nd on back is the challenge here. They cross the start finish line going into 1. We've only got a couple laps here left, and it is.
Oh, Nicole Berthay's up in the wall. That puts him back to 6th, and hello, 4th spot to Chuck Gentile for right now. There's some bumper-to-bumper contact with David Callahan. That puts him 2nd back of the 4th place driver. This has been crazy in heat race number 2.
Yeah, these guys are really pushing the envelope here, and why not? It's championship night. Everything is on the line. Everything's going to be decided here. Guys are up on the chip here. We got 1 to go.
So it's Zach Neubauer looking to start on the outside of the front row in car number 52. 5th in the standings coming on in as he sees the checkers and takes the win in the 2nd heat race. And so now we have our extra practice session for the drivers that did not make the top 4, so a race that's just for fun. Just for bragging rights. No sticker on the line, unfortunately. Dan McLaren and David Callahan on row number 1. Tyler Bentley, Steve Maurer in row 2. D. Meitzler, Mike Berthay on row 3. And Austin Marlett, Bob Curtis in the 4th row. So we already know the top 8 of the field and how they are starting. This will determine the 2nd half of the lineup tonight. And a low car count, 16 drivers for the Raiders. It's kind of normal to have under a 20 car count with the C division. And remember, drivers are fighting for a top 10 starting spot, because if you finish inside the top 10, as long as your I rating is under 225, you are eligible to race with the B division tonight. And as we look at it for Raiders, the only guy I see that's ineligible right now coming on in would be Parmer Lee's not eligible to race. Pat Boyd's not in the field. Dan McLaren wouldn't be eligible to race. He's at a 272 incident lap counter at the moment. So I think that's the only driver that wouldn't be really able to race in the B division tonight. So for him, he's pretty much has to have a clean race if he wants to finish in the top 10 tonight, John.
Yeah, and this is such a cool start of the week too. We talk about points here, and every one of our divisions, and I don't remember a time here, at least not the last few seasons, where coming into championship week, I think every division is still up for grabs in the evening. All the Hometown Heroes divisions tomorrow, Wednesday nights, I believe, is still up for grabs. I know Thursdays is. So this is going to be a really, really neat week here, and these guys get to kick it all off here.
It's going to be a crazy week. I do Thursday nights as well. You've got a fun battle in the late models, a fun battle in the big blocks. Both of those, ironically, that John Hines a part of. So we look forward to see how he does on Thursday night. Where are we Thursday night again?
I should know that, right?
Yeah, I should know that. I don't have my schedule on me.
I haven't looked at it.
Yeah, we'll give it to you later on. We'll do it when we get to our weekly calendar roundtable. Anyway, we're green for the B main. McLaren gets them going. Let's see if he can clear on Callahan. Slides up bottom, allows Callahan to think about going for a crossover move, but that doesn't work. And off the corner, top three, nose to tail, McLaren, Callahan, and Bentley. Austin Marlett, though, the biggest mover, one lap in, up 3 positions. Remember, he was involved in that wreck earlier in his heat race that put him to the rear of this B main. But it's McLaren followed by Callahan and Bentley. Good battle to start the B main, John.
Yeah, in that opening lap, Michael Bertha had some issues there in turn 1. And we got Maurer into the backstretch wall,
Oh,
too.
man. Up and over he goes as Bob Curtis gets by. Let's see how the leaders deal with this. Maurer going to get a tow. He's still there. Maurer gets towed. He's out of the way. Austin Marlett, though, closing in. Only guy in the 13-second range at the moment. 13.94 last time by. This time, 13.81. Maurer is on the charge at the moment, John.
Yeah, a lot of speed left out in that track, and I see a lot of different lines being played. You look at Dan McLaren's going in high, kind of almost running a slider line where you see Callahan and Bentley both just kind of staying right up there on the cushion.
Oh, Marlett got the wall. Off of turn 2. Bad corner for Marlett on the exit. Slows down his momentum big time. McLaren actually with a quicker lap time now in the 13s. 13.95. Callahan now in the 13s. At a 13.98. 4 to go in this B main. Who's going to get it? McLaren or Callahan? Now the top 2 will start inside the top 10. Which again, like we talked about, you need to finish top 10 to transfer in. The guys IL under 250. Oh, Bentley! Contact from Callahan. Big save from the NASCAR.
That was a good save there by Tyler. He able to gather it back up here, but we got 2 laps to go, and it looks like the 3 here are kind of separated just a little bit. I don't know if anybody's going to be able to do anything with the time left here.
Final lap underway for the Canadian and Dan McLaren in the Spartan racing car. To start 9th position, catches the wall off of turn 2. Callahan's got a chance to try and close in, but too little too late. McLaren takes the win in the B main.
That sure made it interesting there.
Absolutely did. So, all that in the books is the Flatline Racing Bodies B main is in the books there. That was brought to you by them. Quality Racing Bodies, produced by former Winston Cup short track champion Dan Chapman in Clarence, Iowa. So now we get to our Ohsweken Speedway warm-up watch. Roger, you got to confirm to me if they raced last Friday, and if so, how the racing went. Because if they were racing, You know for sure Roger was there. So, anyway, let's remind people once again of the points coming in. Now, this includes the 1 drop. This does not include the 2 drops that these drivers have. So once again, Bruce Hilton, 703 points. Jack Hitt has 688. Brian Moore Sr., 685. Mike Schultz, 677. And Zach Neubauer with 674. We already talked about how the points are working. We do have bonus points online as well. You complete 75% of the race, which is 15 laps. That's 5 bonus points. If you are the biggest mover of this race, that is also 5 bonus points. If you finish with 0 incidents, that's 5 bonus points. But keep in mind as well, there are penalty points. For each incident point, you'll lose 1 point. And normally when it comes to iRacing, John, on the dirt tracks, you normally lose 2. You always get 2x normally when you have a big collision.
Yeah, you can have a 2x, let's just say like a little bit later, if that cushion goes all the way up into the wall and you catch it with the right rear, you get a 2x from that if you kind of just touch somebody, you know, and they don't wreck. Now, if you touch somebody and they wreck, then it goes up to a 4x. If you wreck yourself, you get into that wall, instead of tapping it with your right rear, you catch it, next thing you know, you do a barrel roll. That's going to be a 4x. So there are a little bit of differences between the 2 and the 4x kind. And if you get too many of them, they add up quick, because at 12, you get parked.
And you do not want to be getting parked for the night. Remember, all drivers have to have their IL incident limit under 250. The top 5 all have their ILs under 250. Bruce Hilton a 129, Jack Hitt 168. Brian Moore, 178. Mike Schultz, 151. And Neubauer, 080. So under 15 seconds away from warm-ups in the books, it is Chuck Gentile, the quickest, with a 14.080. It's about a 10th quicker than Mike Berthet, so we could have the driver that starts in 8th be a big contender tonight. Gentile coming on in as we take a look at his stats. This would be his first start of the season, if I'm reading that correctly. I don't see him in points at all, so we will see what happens as we get set to go, ladies and gentlemen. Let's meet the field in our Super Dirt Car Series starting lineup. A big hello to Dean Reynolds, by the way, who is at Lebanon Valley Speedway for their Spring 100 event. Looking forward to that. Watch the feature later tonight. On the front row, Mike Schultz in the 016 and Zach Neubauer in the 52. Row number 2, Brian Moore Sr. in the 558 and Bryce Eichmeyer in the 011. Row 3, Gentleman Jack Hitt in the 217 and Bruce Hilton in the 10. Row 4, Pat Boyce in the 41 and Chuck Gentile in the 666. Rounding out the top 10, Dan McLaren in the 88, David Callahan in the 55. Row 6, no call to the grid for Tyler Bentley. Next to him, Austin Marlett in the 999. As we look in the final 2 rows, Dean Meitzler in the 49, Bob Curtis in the 012, Steve Maurer in the 888, and Mike Berthet in the 95. So as the field rolls off for 2 pace laps around Volusia Speedway Park, we've got a good one set for you here. Before we go green, John, I gotta ask, who's your pick to win and who's gonna end up champion tonight?
I am not picking. Every time I always pick, they end up in the fence. So I'm going to avoid the course. But here's what to look for, though, tonight. You've got guys that are here to win a championship. You've got guys that are here to win the race. How those 2 guys interact around each other is going to be key tonight. If you're in that championship fight, you got to be cognizant of everybody around you. You can't put yourself in bad positions to where you might lead to an accident. If you're here to win the race, you're getting instructions from race control who those guys are that fight for that championship. You got to give them room and give them some deference when you're racing around them. We'll see how all this plays out over the next 20 laps.
Andy Patton doing a great job up in race control. We get set to go for the start. Brought to you by Dylan Westbrook Racing, who had a great weekend in his 360 sprint. The Steve King Foundation Pace Truck is in pit road. We're about to crown a Raiders champion. Let's go. The green is out. And already Mike Schultz goes for the slide job on Neubauer and Moore Sr. He's got the lead down the back straightaway, but Moore Sr. takes a look inside on the 52. Top 4 all championship contenders make it top 3 trouble. Yellow is out. Bob Curtis, Austin Marlett, and Steve Maurer. I'm not sure if we got the first lap in though, John.
Yeah, I don't know if we did or not, but boy, I tell you, Bob Curtis took a ride. And I don't think that incident happened in turn 2 right after the green.
Here's the start of the race for the guy in the back of the pack. That was all by himself. Out of the ballpark, too. Wow.
Yeah, and remember
I've never
earlier when
seen
I
that
said,
in Fallujah.
Yep, remember earlier when I said that there's a 2X and a 4X? That was a 4X. When you catch the wall that hard, you go, that's a 4X. If
And
you
there-
just bounced it off, that'd have been a 2X.
You saw the spins between Marlett and Maurer that led to the caution to coming out. So we take a look here. I think it only scoring 1 lap. And actually, check that. We're going to score. That second lap was counted. So when we come back to the green flag, we will be on lap number 3.
Yeah, and then that incident between Marlett and Maurer, that's just Marlett changing lanes there in the middle of the corner. You've got to be real careful when you do that, especially on a start. That's usually not a good idea, and usually that's what's going to happen if you do that.
Update. We don't have live updates on the points, but remember, that's how the points looked coming on in. Remember, Mike Schultz, 677. Mike Schultz is leading. Zach Neubauer, 2nd. Brian Moore, Sr., 3rd. Bruce Hilton, when we get this all set up, is in 6th position. Those are the drivers we know at the moment. Jack Hitt is 5th, and Bruce Hilton is 6th. If you counted the drop coming on in, you would have Bruce Hilton with an 11-point advantage on Hitt. Brian Moore Sr. would be a point behind. So we're set to go for the Land of Legends TV restart with Mike Schultz leading them back to the green flag as the Steve King Foundation Pace truck is back. And here we go. And a great restart on the pack behind them. Neubauer and Moore Sr. have to battle it out for 2nd spot. Let's see if the 558 goes to the inside, maybe even pull a slide job. Oh man, that was so close. They made just a bit of contact. How they didn't spin, I don't know.
Yeah, and you got look like Dan McLaren around there, and man, I tell you, Brian Moore is living dangerously there. He was not clear when he moved across the track there, and they got away with one there. But you know, they're running for a championship. Like I said, you gotta weigh all those things.
You know, Brian Moore's got a paint scheme that's a lot similar to Joey Logano in the NASCAR Cup Series. We saw that same style of Joey Logano. He has no fear to be aggressive and no fear to be conservative. He doesn't care about being conservative. He's an aggressive driver on track, that's for sure, as we look at the Malcolm's replay to show you what happened to McLaren.
Yeah, he just got a little bit of help there.
Yep. Chuck Gentile gets into him and turned him around. And that has been the story of McLaren's luck all season, just like how it is in the beginning of the year for the McLaren F1 team.
Yeah, yeah, boy, that's a mess over there at the McLaren. I don't know what they're going to do with Ricardo, but that's another topic for another day, another show. But yeah, McLaren, that's just a tough break for him.
Roger, where's our F1 series, Roger? We need an F1 series in Coast to Coast. I mean, I know we got the road course series on the weekends, but come on.
Yeah, Bob White would, I'm sure, win that.
Bob would
too,
win
but,
that. He would dominate it.
Yeah, he got 12 out of 12 on Sunday night, so he's quite the alien here. But good on him, and then congratulate Bob White on that championship. But McLaren, though, the thing is, you're on lap 4 here. You've got a long way. This isn't a big field. He's got time here to recover and get a strong finish out of this.
So ready for the Land of Legends restart. It is Mike Schultz leading, Brian Moore second, Zach Neubauer third, Bryce Eichmeyer fourth, Jack Hitt fifth, Bruce Hilton in sixth. You've got the 6 best drivers all season long that are ready to bring the field back to green as Schultz fires. Another great restart on Moore and Neubauer. Let's see how much Senior can close in on the Schultz heating and cooling machine. Jack Hitt taking a look inside on the 011. Let's see if a slider comes into effect for Gentleman Jack. Off the corner, he edges Eichmeyer at the start finish line. Barely, John.
Yeah, he's got that bottom. It seems like it is working. He's rolling pretty well. Mike Birthday is like behind him. He's able to get around the number 10 there, Bruce Hilton. And he's got the bottom too.
And let's remember, Birthday was one of those drivers that had a tough B main of 10 positions already, so he's having a great run. But battle for the lead is on. Brian Moore Sr. inside on Mike Schultz. He's got the lead of the line. First lead change of the day. Slide job, Senior. A little bit too much of a slide job. Gets into Schultz. He saves it though. Close call for the leaders.
Brian's he's living dangerously there, and I'm sure Mike's not real happy right now, but Mike is going to have to gather it back up and you know, kind of pin his ears back and go back after that 558 car.
Mike is focused though, that's for sure, as you're watching on the Schultz heating and cooling onboard camera as he keeps his baby going. Let's look back at the third through sixth positions. Neubauer and Hitt having a good race. The caution flag is out. That race will end. Pat Boyce and Tyler Bentley. Oh man, and Bentley's on his side taking a nap. And that's a tough break for Bentley. After a phenomenal week last week for the driver of the 53 to make it in the top 10. Bentley's on his side. This was a guy as well that started from the pits as well. Let's see what happened. Just hard racing. It's Boyce squeezed Bentley in a wild ride for both of them. Let's ride on board here with Tyler.
That's just a case of no give and take there from either driver, to be honest with you. So, and that's one of those incidents where it took 2 to tango, and boy, I tell you, Bentley got the worst end of it.
I tell you what, Bentley found a hole, and yeah, you're right, he went for it. I don't blame Bentley for going for it too.
No, not at all.
Here's Pat Boyce. You can see the wheels coming to the right there. And a wild ride for the Ohio native.
But we need to go back to the battle up front here, Marty. It was just getting heated up there. Moore just took it over from Mike Schultz, and now Mike's going to be back to his bumper here. And this caution's going to give him a chance now to reset, take a deep breath here, and go back at Brian. And Brian, you know, I'm sure it's in the back of Schultz's mind how he was just raced, and you know what comes around goes around. And we got to keep a watch out for that to see if Schultz runs him the same way that he's been running everybody else.
We're showing the battle. We just showed the battle for the race lead, and from the blimp camera, Schultz actually came up on Moore.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah, but when he came across his nose a little bit actually the initial slide job is what I was talking about.
Yeah,
so,
there was no there was no
Yeah.
contact there either. We just confirmed it there. So
yeah, no, but it was close. And that's what my point is he that still doesn't make you happy as a driver. Even though they're clear as a driver, that doesn't make you happy.
We're back to green and a late jump for Brian Moore Sr. Doesn't get a big gap like how Schultz would get on the restarts in this race, but the cross flags flew at the same time. 10 up and 10 down. Good battle happening on the line for position. Jack Hitt continues to go on the charge. He's looking for third position this time on Zach Neubauer. But look at the 95 of Birthday go from 16th to 5th. He's got a hot rod in that 95 tonight.
Yeah, if you're that 558, that 016, I don't know if they've got the relative.
Oh, for the lead. Schultz off at 2, got up to the door, that got close. Decides to take it up to the outside. Jack Hitt starts to get in this battle as well. 7 laps to go, and Senior opens up a half-second lead. Neubauer and Hitt trading the third position at the moment. Hitt cannot clear on the 52. Birthday in the back of it, just to be safe than sorry. Schultz set it in 3 and 4 for the lead. Doesn't work. 6 to go, John.
and these guys are going for it here. We got 5 cars under a blanket here. Yeah, different lines. You've got Schultz on the bottom. You got more up top here.
Bruce Hilton falling back spots. He's all the way in 8th position. That could be big for Jack Hitt with 5 laps to go. Hitt is in 3rd. A win would be absolutely huge. Could give Hitt the championship. Back to the lead though. Moritz Schultz, 4 laps to go at Fallujah.
You got a lap car and Bob Curtis just up the track, not too far in front of these guys. I don't know if they'll catch him or not, but we have to see if that comes into play here.
It's a 4/10 of a second lead. Let's see where Curtis goes. I think he just got out of harm's way. He did. 3 laps remaining for the 5:58. Let's go back to 3rd. Hitt, Neubauer still continue to have a great show. Hilton still in 8th position at the moment as Hitt tries to pull away from Neubauer. Ike Meyer and Birthday having a good battle for 5th position on track. Popsicles up 2 to go for the 5:58.
That's now or never for Mike Schultz there in 2nd place there. He's gotten a little bit behind here. He hasn't got a lot of time. They're going to come around for the 1 to go. If he's going to make it happen, he's got to do it here.
Final lap underway for the 5:58 for Brian Moritz Sr. After moving down from A to C, he's picked up a win, 6 top 5s on the season. Off of turn 4, Moritz Sr. wins at Fallujah. Hilton 8th and Hitt 3rd. We got to remember the championship coming on in. We'll wait for the official update. That's how it was coming in. We have to count penalty points and the drops.
That is a heck of a race, though. Points
It's going to be close. We don't know off the top of our heads on who's going to win this championship.
And we need to give a shout out to Mike Birthday too. What was he, 16th to 4th there? Great run for Mike.
Birthday, by the way, is the Langton Mechanical Hard Charger Award. It's a good thing to mention right there. We'll check and see if points are updated. They are not yet, but we're checking to see if we get a confirmation from our chat room to see if either Hilton wins the championship barely or if Jack Hitt wins it. We can confirm to you, by the way, Bruce Hilton, his 2 worst finishes of the year were in 11th and a 9th. So barely Bruce Hilton able to pick up points, but Jack Hitt picked up a lot more. We will have to wait and see if Hitt wins this. His worst finishes of the season were a 16th and a 10th. So he picks them up, and that would mean for Hitt, all finishes in the points are inside the top 5. And Jack Hitt is the Raiders champion by 4 points on Brian Moore Sr. Gentlemen, Jack, take a bow. He has won it all. Let's get him on in here. Jack Hitt, we can officially confirm you are the Raiders champion, man. How does that feel?
Oh man, that's awesome. I wasn't sure how that was gonna turn out with everything. That's great.
It was oh so close coming on in, man. I think even with your final drop coming on in, we had you down by 11 points. You finished in 3rd, which was the part of that big 3-point increment. Hilton was down in the 2-point increment categories with the 8th place finish. When you took that checkered flag, did you think you had the championship locked down?
No, I thought Mike had it, but then I just realized he was only 1 spot ahead of me. So no, that's awesome, man. I was hoping I'd get it, but it was gonna be a tough one.
What do you take away from this incredible season? Every finish in the points that you were able to, all inside the top 5.
Yeah, no wins. Only guy up here competing without a win.
That's
but,
true.
Just was able to get it done week in and week out, and hey, it shows you don't have to win. I guess you don't have to be first.
Absolutely. Who do you want to give shout-outs to on your run?
Just everyone behind the scenes here at Coast to Coast. You for putting on the broadcast. You know, normally you don't have us, but we still watch later on in the night. But yeah, everyone at Coast to Coast, all the drivers, man, this is probably one of the most fun divisions I've had in a season. So shout out to Bruce, Mike, Brian, I think Bryce and Zach. There were a whole bunch of guys that were up there in points, and then of course, thank you to my wife for giving me the time to do this every week.
Lastly, are you going to plan a move up to Rebels next year or next season?
I don't think they'll give me a choice, but yeah, that's the plan. So we'll see if we can park it up front again.
Gentlemen, Jack, enjoy it, man. Congratulations.
Thanks, Marty.
Jack hit the third place finisher, and more importantly, our Season 222 Raiders champion. We'll go to our second place finisher in Mike Schultz. Mike, you put up a good fight at the end, man. Third in the standings at season's end. What more, though, did you need for the win on Brian Moore?
I screwed up by touching the lap car. That was my fault. So, man, I'm just so bummed for Bruce Hilton. He ran so good all year long, and we were really hoping that the Penny and Posse could win this championship here. And it kind of deflating because we were all sitting here rooting for Bruce. But congrats to Jack. That was good.
Absolutely. It was a fun run, man. What do you take away from this season from your perspective?
I honestly, I wish I could just stay in this division. This is by far the best division that I think Coast to Coast has. I mean, cleanest racing we've had. I mean, good hard racing, but clean racing, and it was really fun running up through the alphabet soup thing, weekly. So I don't know. I hope that it can continue, but now we're getting into summertime, and we all find different things to do during the summer.
Yeah, I mean, you're gonna be busy installing some air conditioning units, that's for sure, man. But who do you want to give shout-outs to?
You for doing the league, Roger, and all of this league, and Bruce Hilton, David Callahan, Dean normally is in with us too, and he's in Lebanon Valley tonight. So, just kudos to the Penny and Posse, and still just a bummer for Bruce.
Absolutely. All right, we'll let you go, man. Great season for you, man.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Mike Schultz, our second place finisher. We're going to take this now to Cool Ray Victory Lane. We're going to talk with your race winner. Oh, so close to winning this championship and spoiling the party. Brian Moore Sr., though, picks up his second win of the season. Senior, you're back in Victory Lane. Just talk about the pass you made on Schultz for the win. Did you think he was going to get you?
Well, after that last restart, he kind of showed me a wheel inside a couple of corners there, and I got kind of worried he might get me down there. But when I finally got by him, I went to the bottom in 3 and 4, and I gained a lot on him. And I thought, well, man, that's the way to go there. So I did that a couple laps and got up beside him in the straightaway, and I thought, well, this is my chance to throw a good slide job on him, and I just went for it, and luckily it worked. Paid off.
Yeah, absolutely did, man. So you're finally back after a run in the C division. Do we plan on seeing you move up to the B?
I hope so. I hope they don't put me all the way up to the A, because I really don't think I'm ready for them guys yet on them slick tracks that they put out. But yeah, I think we're ready for the B. We'll see how I do there if they push me up there, and I'm sure they will. This league's been really fun this season. These guys that in this C division have really raced each other clean and give each other plenty of room, and so it's been really fun this season.
Well, who do you want to give shout-outs to on your run?
Just the regular guys, Gary and Devo, and you guys in the broadcast booth and the league for putting this stuff on. Man, this is really fun. I'm still loving it.
Well, we appreciate it, man. Great run to you tonight. Congrats on the win.
Thank you.
Brian Moore celebrated in Cool Ray Victory Lane. Let's pot up the race results. John, I can tell you this, by the way, and this is how, in my opinion, I believe that Jack Hitt won the championship. You can't see it on your screen. I'm looking at the extended stats that Sim Racer Hub, our official stats partner of the Coast to Coast Racing League, what they have up. Are you ready for this? Jack Hitt had no incident points tonight. That gave him 10 bonus points. Of course, 5 for the 75% distance and another 5 for going incident-free. If he gets any incidents, we are talking Bruce Hilton as your champion right now.
Oh, absolutely. Those incident points are just incredible what they do towards the end of the season. I lost a late model championship because of incident points. I had, I think, about 14 more of them than David Garman, and Garman beat me by 12 in that points championship. So from race 1, you've really got to concentrate on being clean and not picking those up. They're just not throwaway. Oh, I had 4 tonight or 6 or whatever. You've really got to focus on those and keep those to a minimum.
Absolutely. Hilton with 6X in the race tonight. So that gave him 6 penalty points. So it was 57 total points for Bruce Hilton. Jack Hitt with a total of 79. When we saw him fall back to 8th position, we knew something was going on. And that something did happen for sure. If Jack Hitt, maybe even as well, if Bruce Hilton has that same accident, has the same situation, and Jack Hitt gets incident points, we're probably talking Brian Moore as the championship. That's how close it was tonight.
Yeah, I mean, anything can happen. We said it at the top of the show here, and it really proved to be true. We had no idea, even after they crossed the start-finish line, and the fact of the order that they were in it just was tough. And, Bruce came in with the lead, and I do feel for him because, man, that's a bitter pill to have to swallow. The good news is there's another season coming up, and Bruce had a nice, consistent season. He was fast all season. He can come back and give her another go here, and hopefully for him it'll turn out a little bit better over the summer.
Absolutely. We're waiting to pop this graphic up here. We're just finishing this up, but you got to see how close it was at season's end with the 2 drops. We're going to pop it up right just a moment. Give us one moment. How's the coming tower? Is it set up yet? Yep, we got it now. So, here are the final points from our Raiders division. Jack Hitt, 712. Wins by 4 on Brian Moore Sr. and by 7 on Mike Schultz. By 9 on Bruce Hilton. Can you say
Incredible.
close? That's amazing. And we're just getting started tonight, John. That's the big part. We're just getting started. We've got 2 other crazy championship battles coming on in for the Rebels. Everson and Lacey separated by 5 points with their first drop. It's going to be crazy. You're not going to want to miss it. We're coming up next with the Rebels on the Coast to Coast Racing Network.
turn 4, white flag in the air. Justin Hare's top shelf where Mama hides the cookies. Can he get the lead? Yes, he does. And now here comes Janzik. Janzik goes by Query, and he goes by Inman. Gonna drag race off of turn 4. Shepard is there, but it's Larry White at the line. It's still gonna be Pat Ward, and they make contact. Britton has broken the race car. Peter Britton comes to a stoppage.
In our industry. The lifetime parts and labor warranty is pretty awesome. Basically, all the parts are covered, the labor and everything.
When we say lifetime, we mean lifetime, and it's supported with money-back guarantees. And with that, you're getting all qualified technicians that are going to ensure that this job is done perfectly and operates perfectly throughout the life of the unit.
Learn more about our Coolray lifetime parts and labor warranty at Coolray.com. Coolray and Carrier. Turn to the experts.
We welcome you back to live coverage on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. Beautiful Volusia Speedway Park in Florida. Man, this is a dream place to be during Speed Weeks. I mean, you got Daytona, you got Volusia, you got New Smyrna, all in the same county, John. Man, that'd be fun to go to in February.
Yeah, I've been down there and gone to the dirt part of it. In fact, I've raced in the dirt part of it, and yeah, there's a lot going on. You've got all kinds of people walking through the pits down here any given night. You got everything from the NASCAR guys walking through to, I think one time I saw Hulk Hogan walking around the infield, which kind of surprised me. Yeah, Ricky Medlock out of Leonard Skinner. I mean, it's amazing what you see walking around there. It is a happening place for sure when this happens every year here.
Absolutely. So we get set to go. Rebels coverage is brought to you by Langdon Mechanical. Appreciate their support of the Coast to Coast Racing League. They have joined recently with the series. As we get ready to go with our live coverage, let's talk about the points coming on in, and it's a battle between two people. Brennan Lacey and Bob Everton. This has been a fun battle to watch throughout the year. 5 points coming on in.
Yeah, that's not a whole lot, but the 5-point difference, I don't think matters as much as what is Lacey on, a 4-5 race win streak?
Yeah,
I mean, how
big
many in a
win
row?
streak. Big win streak for
Yeah.
Lowline Lacey coming on in. He's got 5 wins this season. He disconnected after USA last week, so he was on a 4-race win streak. And so if we were to include both drops, as we're looking though for Lacey, no matter what happens, we are looking at probably 620, probably a big advantage for Brennan Lacey coming to the end. We'll see what happens though as qualifying is underway. Lacey sets the board in time trials with a 13.25 as you see all the times start to come in on your screen. Lacey, 13.25. Here's Brandon Dittmer off of turn number 4, second quick. See if he can improve in the Toyota, and he cannot. Joe Canales goes up to second quick after lap 2, 13.24.
Yeah, Joe's got a good piece. I ran the matinee with those guys, and Joe, I think, out-qualified me. I think he did a 13.20 to my 13.22 this morning,
Bob
early this
Everson.
afternoon here. And
Sorry to interrupt you, Bob Everson, fourth quick. Tyler Wilson went to the top a couple moments ago with a 13.223. Apologies for that. Bandy clocks in fifth at a 13.258. Let's go to Kyle Sargent in the 91. 13.35, 91 on lap number 2. Goes up to 10th quick for the 91. Here's Chad Cote crossing the line on lap number 2. Goes up to 11, 13.37. Rayner coming across the line right now as he goes 18th on the boards. Zach Neubauer, by the way, 22 car count drivers on the car count tonight. I should say 21 correction. 13.45.
And not for,
yeah, go ahead.
And not for nothing, but our 2 guys that have a lot on the line tonight with Lacey and Everton, they both clocked in at 13.24s. One's a 2.46 to a 2.49. Well, they're going to be even starting out the night.
That's how close they are all season long. The only lap here for Chuck Gentile in qualifying, which has been brought to you by AVR Setup Shop throughout the season. Gentile clocks in 18th at a 13.658. So with a quick time of a 13.223 in the number 042, give it up for Tyler Wilson. Wilson going on the quick time, and oh my goodness. He was as happy as we've seen him all season. Finally got that first win in the Rebels. So first heat race about to go down, brought to you by Magnum Race Design. And we have 3 heats that are set for you tonight here with our B division. Kyle Sargent and Jeff Flero are on row number 1. Bob Everton, Tyler Wilson, row 2. Rich Holland and Roger Craig on row 3. And then John Rayner and Bob DeGood round out the field in this first heat race.
I don't think Bob will be joining us there. He is a Renegades driver. My guess is a lot of those guys like to come in and watch, and I'm going to bet he accidentally joined. I see, I see Stephen Goldner's name in there too somewhere, and I promise you he's not going to be running with these guys tonight.
I've been a victim of that too, so.
Yep, so have I. And then there went my test session, and I'm cussing and screaming and damn user errors.
Good job. So. And that's why we will have the longer wait as they had DQ'd DeGood. So while we're at it, we do have, this is a really stacked heat as well when you think about it, because you got Kyle Sargent up here, who's been very fast all season. However, though, only 3 top 5s to show for it. Jeff Flero, who had a great car last week at USA, which is his favorite track on the schedule. As always, Bob Everton, who won the first 2 races in the Rebels this season, but 4 top 10s on the season. And then you got last week's winner in Tyler Wilson, who could be a threat. Now he's got that confidence built after finally getting that win last week.
Yeah, and Evertson's got a unique paint scheme here too this week. Looks like he's got the Air Force on his car here for Memorial Day, I gotta presume, and it's a pretty cool paint scheme he's got on there.
Absolutely. We hope you all had a great Memorial Day weekend. We want to, before we begin this heat, take this opportunity to thank the men and women that sacrificed their lives so that we could enjoy this great country in the land of the free and the home of the brave. So drivers following the Steve King Foundation pace truck. You know what, John? We have not done this in a while, but who's your one to watch here in this heat?
Again, you know what? I always pick a guy, and you know, I give him a curse, Marty. And I've had it happen now quite a few times. I even get emails or texts. Don't pick me tonight. But what I'll say here is what we got to look out for, especially in these heat races. These guys are going to be significantly quicker. It's going to be a fight to the bottom here. There's got to be give and take here. We saw a couple of guys get into trouble in the last race in their heat races, and you know, had to storm through the field. You know, if they would have probably had a good starting spot, they probably may have won. So you really want to be careful here getting through these heats.
You know, I got an idea. What color is the car that you are watching out for?
The red, white, and blue one.
Okay. Yeah, there's two of them. So, anyway.
And the one in the second row.
Yeah. Winners on pole position tonight. We are green for our first heat race. Off of corner number 2, Jeff Flero gets the jump down the back straightaway, but Sargent right on his left rear wheel. Side by side, Flero clears and leads lap 1. Sargent, though, still there on the bottom. Tyler Wilson third, Bob Everson is fourth. This is a good battle early here in the Rebels. And this is a race where the event where you never know what's going to happen. You saw Everson just make contact with the 91, and there's more contact with Roger Craig and Rich Holland.
This is why I don't pick. Wow. Yeah, he did a nice job. But the good news for Everson, he is still in a transfer position here. So his night is not ended. Now he's going to have to try to reel down that 91 there.
This guy just sent 3 people down to the B main. What a legend. We kid. We got a good battle for the lead, though, starting up here. Between Jeff.
I don't even know what to say. I am not picking anymore. I'm just not doing it. Don't ask.
Flero quickest right now, 13:32 to a Wilson 13:4, but this is the battle for the race lead, John.
Yeah, it is here, and you know, they're going to have a good starting spot. This is for the pole position here, so there's a lot riding on this. You get to dictate the start of the feature here, so there's a lot on the line here.
Final lap underway, and it's coming down to these two cats battling it out for pole position. Can Jeff Flero get it this time, or will last week's winner at USA International Speedway start on pole? Flero playing defense and off of turn 4. He's got it. Flero starts on pole tonight as he wins heat 1. Wilson, Everson, and Sargent round out the transfer spot. So that definitely helps out Everson as well. Pick up a couple of more spots.
Yeah, I think Sargent and Everson are teammates. And I think I just saw a teammate help a teammate out here. So that's very cool to see that.
That's respect there. And heat 2
Absolutely.
brought to you by 2-1 Designs. Your lineup looks like this. Chad Cote and Austin Marlett make up row number 1. Row 2, Jesse Bandy and Joe Canellis. Row number 3, Gary Taylor and Steven Bixler. Andy Patton starting from the rear. He had a heat EOL, unable to qualify. That's actually the only penalty we have tonight for Monday Night Madness. Well, John, since you've got the commentator's curse against you,
Yeah.
I'll give you mine because this ain't a stacked field, and of course I'm going with Jesse Bandy.
Solid pick. But
Absolutely.
you know what we can't.
He's
What
been
we
quiet
can't look
lately
for.
too.
Yeah, and Jesse's a really, really good driver. So, like I said, solid pick. But what we can really look for here, this is, the track changed a lot through Heat 1, but I think the track is really going to change here for these guys from when they start to the finish here. And watch guys up front maybe move around a little bit more. You're going to see guys trying to look for a fast line, and you may see guys, choose the high side one time, the low side the next. So watch these guys to start moving around here.
Corners look completely different on the tracks. Let's give a shout out to Joe Canellis as well from last week. He got the pole in the Rebels and was up front in the race. That was really cool to see.
Yeah, like I said earlier today, he knocked off a real good qualifying time. I think P2. He's found some speed, and I expect him to be up front here tonight.
Let us know who you're rooting for in chat. We'll be sure to give you a shout out. Hello to Teresa, rooting for Bobby Evertson. Bob DeGood says good luck to all. Anyway, winner of this heat starts on the outside of the front row. Here we go. Cote tries to clear on Brandon Dittmer early. Let's see if he can get that to work off the turn 2. And he does. Jesse Bandy, though, taking a look to the inside for second spot on Marlett. The only threat to the deal was Joe Canellis. That got close for P2 on the corners, John. Oh, hang on, yeah. Marlett.
Yeah, they're a little bit squirrely, but like I said, now they're all over the track here, looking for different places, and different lines will work. So just not one line is going to be the fastest here. Guys are going to be adjusting to what they want. We got a battle for second.
Bandy versus Canellis. The fast one versus the pole sitter last week. And Bandy's due up. They ran 13:51 last time by. Canellis was 0.02 of a second quicker at the stripe. 3 cars under a blanket. Chad Cote's thinking, come on, guys, take each other out. It's the Rebels, darn it.
Yeah, it looks like Bandy's got a little bit of an advantage now running that low line, but he's not making a whole lot of ground on him, and now he's moving up on Cote.
He's looking to go 2 for 1 at the line, but can't get him there. Let's ride on board with Cote. See what it's like from the rear end. He's got Bandy underneath, challenging for this race lead. Can't get the drive off yet. We saw the low line work really well, though, in the Raiders last race, John, but this time the middle groove's kicking in.
Yeah, it is, and Cote is able to hold off Jesse here, and we're cracking down here. We got 1 to go.
Final lap is underway. Bandy goes for the move. That may have been his only move he had left in the tank. Canellis goes underneath. This is a battle for a top 5 starting spot in the race now, but Chad Cote off the corner on the outside of the front row tonight.
Yeah, I'm not so sure.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I'm not so sure Bandy didn't hit that inside wall there when he made that move and slid up high there. It looked like he may have caught that.
Let's take a look. Wow, let's take a look. That's a good idea to take a look at while we wait. Let's see if he did hit that inside wall.
I mean, the attitude of the car looked like it. I didn't see it.
He did. It's tough to tell here, but if we go frame by frame, it's a neck code situation. Like the left front didn't even touch it. When you look right there, yeah, you can tell.
And that cost him second there for sure.
Anyway, let's get to our third heat of the evening. Our third heat race brought to you by Chip Bangers Racing, an official team of the Coast2Coast Racing League. And this is a stacked one as well. You've got Zach Neubauer and Jesse Atkinson on the front row. Row 2, you've got Brandon Dittmer and championship contender Brennan Lacey, who has won 4 of the last 5 races. Mike Cranmer and Chuck Gentile, row number 3, and Brian Moore Sr. not making the call to grid. 2 onboards for you here in this heat. Our first onboard we have here for you is Brandon Dittmer in the 83. I swear, this dude has had like 3 different setups all season. First from his room, second from his living room, and third from like a new, I don't know if he moved or something, but he's always got an interesting setup. And then the third one we've got is from the Pink Panther in Jesse Atkinson. So winner starts on the inside of the front row. Again, everyone will make it. The drivers outside the top 4 will go into an extra practice session or extra race in our consi. But we're ready to go green. Time to light them up. Nice start from Zach Neubauer off the corners with Jesse Atkinson trying to get around the outside and dust the top off. That's not working. Brandon Dittmer, though, meanwhile, takes the peek downstairs. Lacey on the outside to third. He's using the high side for right now, but come feature time, you know where Lacey's going.
Looks like he's going to go there now. Is he going to 3? And the
2 for 1. Oh, my goodness, what a pass is worth 3 wide per second. That was a daring move from Brennan Lacey. The Pink Panther tries to work it on low line, but he can't. He's back in second position. Fun race at the moment. We got to give a shout to Brandon Dimmer. A tough break for him. Nearly got that long-awaited first win of the season at USA, but lost out to Tyler Rose in a great race in the final laps there last week. Brennan Lacey, 13:46, 3/10 quicker than his opponents at the moment, John.
Yeah, I'd say that Brennan is on a mission here tonight, and he's definitely made a statement with that move that he made to take the lead, and he's checking out here.
2 to go. Let's go to the battle for third position between Dittmer and Neubauer. That's getting good. Dittmer tries to slide up, contact with Neubauer, who nearly loses it. This opens the door for Chuck Gentile. The C Division drivers battling for a final transfer spot at the white flag. 1 and 2, Gentile trying underneath, but out in front, it is low line Lacey. Brennan Lacey starts from the inside of row number 2, where he wants to be tonight. And so now time for our consi. Consolation is brought to you by Flatline Racing Bodies. And we'll give you your starting lineup here as we already know the top 12, but this will determine spots 13 through 20. Rich Holland lines up on pole position next to Andy Patton. In row number 2 is Chuck Gentile and Roger Craig. Stephen Bixler and Mike Cranmer in row 3. John Rayner, Gary Taylor, row 4, and Brian Moore Sr. and Bob DeGood in row number 5. You know, I tell you something, John. This B main looks like this is a retread. This is a retreads 55+ race all over again, just on a Monday night this time.
Yeah, I actually ran with those guys earlier today, and you know, I'm not quite a retread, but I'm tiptoeing up towards that, so I think I can call myself a pre-tread.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yes.
That's perfect.
So yeah, they were a blast to get around the track with tonight, and I expect them to probably put on a pretty good show here.
They have 10 laps. As we get ready to go here, hello to Pigpen watching, rooting for Austin Marlett and the CHR team. So 2 pace laps here for the Rebels.
And we're missing a couple of guys out of this.
Yeah,
I don't see
Senior
Brian Moore.
Missed the start. Of course, DeGood's a Renegades driver.
Yeah. That's all right. Senior, he'll still be able to make the show here without everybody transferring.
Absolutely. Should remind you as well, remind you during when we get to our Weekend Speedway warm-up watch, we will remind you of the drivers that have to drop, of the drop positions the drivers are going for. We are set for the green flag, though, for our B main. It is looking like a Delaware double here at the moment, but I think Patton's ready to get somebody going up here, and that is Rich Holland. Holland back in the Jim Beam 116 car after last week as we're green.
Yeah, and that start, I'm going to say this real quick here. If you're on a single monitor as opposed to triples or even a VR, it's really tough to tell where that guy to the inside is.
Here goes Holland. Tried to slide up on Roger Craig. That did not work. Near contact with Gentile. Gary Taylor up 3 positions already. The Bass man's up 2, meanwhile, and Roger Craig has to battle with good old Chuck.
Roger takes second now. See if he can roll in the 87 of Andy Patton here.
Well, look at Pat. He is on a tear. Was a 1/10 of a second faster than everybody else last time. You know, if it wasn't for that heat EOL, we'd probably be talking already about Patton inside the top 4.
Yeah, most likely. You know, with those heat races, the track is kind of, you know, really at its fastest point. So everybody's going pretty close to the same speed. It's tough to make those spots up.
Slider
when you get in EOL.
Slider from Gentile on the top. Greg just crossed it over and takes second spot away. He slides Gentile back in Slide Job City here in Barberville, Florida. Gentile does it back. Maybe nearly too much. Oh my! That got close from Craig and Gentile. Somehow Holland is the victim in all of this. Steven Bixler goes around up on his lid.
Yeah, a little bit of a chain reaction there.
Craig and Gentile are having so much fun with 4 laps to go. Slider from Craig. Too much of a slider. Gentile held his line. Oh my goodness, this is so much fun to watch.
Yeah, and I think that one there is going to cost Roger a little bit. He's going to have a little bit of work to reel back in Gentile here to get back to where he can make another move like that.
I wonder what the stuffed animals on the underwing of Craig's car are thinking right now with all these sliders. They're thinking, stop it, stop it. We love you. Just be safe. Don't be sorry. Anyway, meanwhile, white flag is out. Final lap in this B main with the U.S. Air Force vet and Andy Patton out in front. It'll start from 13th position tonight. Checkers are out. So as we get set to go here, it's our Shawinigan Speedway warm-up watch. We remind you of the points coming on in. Now, this is without the final drop. 5 points between Lacey and Everton. Now, with the last drop right now, Lacey would have a big lead because of all the wins he has had this season. If it's not for a 26th at Knoxville, a 24th at Fairbury, or a 16th at USA, Brendan Lacey, all of his finishes would be inside the top 5.
Yeah, and looking at these lap times, they're already about a second slower than what they were in qualifying. So now guys are having to pedal it, and guys like Lacey, you know, that can run that bottom, he is, and that's where he's starting too for this feature. Those guys that can do this and pedal it both on the top and the bottom are going to have a huge advantage in this feature.
And then, yeah, Lacey starts in 3rd position. And then you look at Bob Everton, who is just about set to go. If you're Bob, his worst, this is his first drop he's going to be using tonight. He has to be better than 10th position in order to use that drop. But what is it going to take for him to have a chance at this championship?
Yeah, a lot here. And who was it that was rooting for Bob in the chat?
Teresa. Yeah.
Well, Teresa, I promise, I know I picked him in the heat. I am not going to pick him in the feature just for his own safety, his own well-being. So, you know, that's going to be his first step into having a good night. Me not picking him.
Are you gonna pick Gary Taylor then to win the feature then?
No, I am not picking a single soul. I don't want to be responsible for anybody anybody getting the fence at this point.
Understandable, but again, yep, those are the points without the drops, without the first drop without the drop from Bob Everton. We get ready to get things going here.
Yeah,
again,
watch him.
He's already used 2 drops. as long as Everson finishes higher than 10th, he'll be able to use a drop from a previous race. Go ahead.
Yeah, as I say, and Brennan out here, I've been following Brennan on track, and he has been exclusively on the bottom. He's just doing nothing but making laps on there, getting his timing down on how to get the most out of that car. So when they go green, he's going to be ready to roll on the bottom, I got a feeling.
Everson just took it to the top of the charts. Final seconds of warm-up, so this could get interesting. Well, we're set to go here for our second feature of the night. We are so glad you could join us here for the Rebels once again. Let's meet the field. It's time for the Super Dirt Car Series starting lineup. On the front row is Jeff Flero in the 200 and Chad Cote in the 11. Row number 2, Brennan Lacey in the 414 and Tyler Wilson in the 042. Row 3, Joe Canellis in the 1 and Jesse Atkinson in the 127. Row 4, it's Bob Everson in the 008 and Jesse Bandy in the 57. Row 5, Brandon Dittmer in the 83, Kyle Sargent in the 91. Row 6, Austin Marlett in the 999, Zach Neubauer in the 52. Row number 7 is Andy Patton in the 87, Chuck Gentile in the 666. Row 8, Roger Craig in the 747 and Gary Taylor in the 34. Row 9, Mike Cranmer in the 70, John Rayner in the 302. Row number 10, Rich Holland in the 116 and Steve Bixler in the 75. No call for Brian Moore Sr., neither for Bob DeGood. So that is how the field is set to go. And both Everson and Lacey, by the way, their ILs are under 225, so they are good. 191 for Everson, 154 for Lacey. You just have to be under 200 inside the top 10 if they want to make a transfer spot. Jesse Atkinson, who is third in points at a 203 for those wondering. And it's going to be close for him to try and make it inside the top 10. Final thoughts here before we go green, John.
Man, I'm nervous for these guys. You got
Me
Lacey
too.
in the inside of the second row, and you got Bob is not right behind him, but he's just a row behind him, also on the inside here. And man, I'm just like I said, I'm nervous for these guys. I'm gonna take a deep breath, and I can't wait to see how this all unfolds.
I'm going to say it once again. In the Rebels, it's been the craziest division all season. Expect anything and everything with our B division.
Up until the checkered flag falls. It can happen
Absolutely.
anytime.
Well, we're ready for the Dylan Westbrook Racing start. Two men battling for the championship, Brennan Lacey and Bob Everson on the inside of rows 2 and 4. They've got Canadians on the front row and Jeff Flero and Chad Cote. What do you say to get things going? Let's send them off with a bugle. Off of quarter number 2, Jeff Flero with the early lead, but Brennan Lacey on his patented low line, looking to go to the point. Off from 4, it's Flero leading left 1. Chuck Gentile, though, has crashed. No caution, though. We stay under the green flag, but look at Brennan go. Flero, though, is not giving up, though. He's keeping Brennan in a fight, and Flero leads lap 2, John.
Yeah, it looks like Flero is really keeping the momentum up on the outside, but now Lacey goes to the top, and Everson hasn't really made his way up through the field that much. He's been running the bottom and has really not made any ground, and actually looks to maybe lose some ground.
He's lost 2 positions. Caution.
Yep.
Zach Neubauer. Up and over he goes in the 52. Take a look and see what happens here to Zach on our Malcolm's replay.
He got onto it on his own. Jumped the cushion.
Oh, I don't know, was there contact with Andy that sent him sideways at first? But yeah, he did bike it.
Yeah, no, it looked like he swerved to miss Andy. I mean, they got close, but they didn't touch. And yeah, just go over the cushion and into the wall.
Let's take a look. Here's the onboard Neubauer. Yeah, he caught the wall first. And yeah, you're right, he did swerve to the right to miss Andy. I did not see any contact there, so good read, John. That is why They call you the professor.
Blind squirrel finds a nut every now and again. So
Let us know your picks to win in the chat, as this has been a good start to the 25-lap feature.
yeah, Lacey's sitting where he wants to do, but Evertson's got some work to do here. He's going to have to hit the reset button here. That start did not go like he planned. Like you said, he lost a couple of spots here. He is going to have to get those spots up, get those spots back, and continue to move forward here. You better have a plan together to get so, because these guys in front of him are fast.
The Air Force car currently in the 9th position. Brennan Lacey in 2nd. And pretty much for Lacey, if he just finishes ahead by 2 spots on Bob Evertson without the drop, that's pretty much it. And Brennan Lacey would win this championship. So we're set to go for the first time our Land of Legends TV restart. Jeff Flero off to a good start from pole position. He restarts as the leader. Brennan Lacey 2nd, Chad Cote 3rd, Tyler Wilson 4th, Joe Canellis 5th, Jesse Atkinson 6th, Jesse Bandy 7th, Brandon Dittmer 8th, Bob Evertson 9th, Kyle Sargent runs in 10th. We're set to go back to green. The Steve King Foundation pace truck is in. Flero fires when he wants. There he goes. Gets a good restart on Brennan Lacey as we're back to green. First guy on the bottom is Tyler Rosen, and he was the first guy on the bottom in a couple of restarts last week at USA, which kind of helped him propel himself from a wreck up to the front.
Yeah, and Evertson gets a much better restart. Now he's up top, and he's already picked up 3 positions since that restart.
You're right. He's gone by Canellis, Sargent, and Bandy behind. They're 3 wide. In the middle is Bandy. Dirt gets away with 7th position. Let's go back to Wilson. Him and Cote have a good battle for 3rd position. Let's ride on board with the number 11. And again, we do have an onboard set for Cote. Here's what he's seeing out in front. 87 the minimum, all the way up to 125 entering the corners. That's crazy. Meanwhile,
that'll actually, I was gonna say, that'll actually slow down the further up that slick gets.
I'm very surprised that Brennan Lacey has nothing on the low side. He scraped the wall, he's running the high side, and Jeff Flero has a 1-second lead. How close has this guy come to victory so far this season in the Glen Stars 200? There was Charlotte where he led the white flag. That got involved in Iraq. And then at his favorite track in USA, came oh so close, but he was outraced.
Yeah, tough luck for him this season. He's looking good right now to get that win here. But Lacey, you know, being up top, like you said, I'm just kind of wondering if he's not just kind of playing it safe here to try to close this championship out. But
look at Evertson, though. Look at Evertson. Just threw a slide job, just a little bit too much, though, on Tyler Wilson. But he is on the charge in 5th position as we're just past the halfway point. Brennan Lacey, Chad Cote, battle for 2nd. Let's try and show 2 battles on your screen. You've got Wilson, Evertson, and Bandy in the battle for the 4th spot on the track. Bandy gets by Evertson with a slide job, and that's not what good old Bob wants.
No, that's not. And now we'll see if they can get back together here. Once again, he's just going to have to shake off that being Evertson and go back to work. He did a good job of it on that restart, able to pick up a lot of spots. He's going to have to do that again now.
Jesse Bandy, been a rough season for him. He wants to go out with a bang this year. 5th position, Wilson goes for the slide job. Bandy can't cross over on that. We've got 10 laps to go here at Fallujah to close out the Rebels season. Again, Brennan Lacey 2nd, Bob Evertson is in 6th. Let's go to another battle here. Jesse Atkinson and Gary Taylor, 2 names I never would have thought I've said together. Atkinson, though, is in trouble as you ride on board with the Pink Panther. This is a battle for 10th on your screen. Atkinson's car is very loose on the low side. He just can't get it to work.
Yeah, I'm surprised he hasn't abandoned that and tried to go back up top because he just got past. He's about to lose another spot to Joe Canellis on the top too.
Wilson and Bandy trading back and forth for fourth position. There's a slider from Jesse Bandy. Maybe a little bit too strong. Wilson tries to open. The back door is open, but he can't slide up. Made the send a little bit too long, and Bandy holds on to fourth position. Now what does Everton do around the outside with 6 to go? This guy's going to need a caution if he wants to get back in it.
Yeah, absolutely here, and looks like both Bandy and Wilson are a little faster than he is right now. He's going to have to try to move around, try different lines he did there to see if he can close that gap in it.
You've got Ditmer trying to close on an Everton for 5th position. The one guy that doesn't want to see a yellow, though, is Jeff Flaro. He has led every lap of this race, a 1-second lead, and it's coming to 3 laps to go. Is this man going to finally get his first win of the season in Rebels? He won last year at USA with the Rebels, going from C to A. You know, his car's kind of fading a little bit, down to 4.5 tenths. Brennan Lacey is starting to close in. He's got the cushion working out. 2 to go. This is not over yet, John.
No, it's not. A couple laps here to go, and Lacey has closed the gap.
Flaro tries to defend for a potential slide job. The low line, though, works for him. Final lap, 1 to go. It's the Oshweekon Speedway team going out with a bang in Rebels. 3 and 4. The defensive line for Flaro. It's gonna work. Jeff Flaro gets the win he's finally looking for this season. He takes it at Fallujah. Brennan Lacey is your Rebels champion, finally. Everton comes home in 6th position, but it is low line Lacey that gets to celebrate it all tonight. We'll get the points here updated in just a moment. For our calculations, Brennan Lacey is the unofficial champion this season with the Rebels. I thought for a moment there, John, that something was going to happen to Flaro. I thought there was going to be a big send from Lacey, but he couldn't get it to work.
Yeah, the only thing I can think of is maybe he just got a little conservative, saw the gap that he had, and started kind of just, playing it safe. That cushion was getting really close to that wall, and just being a little conservative there. Lacey closed that gap in a hurry.
And while we wait, give credit to the drivers as well. We only had 1 caution in that race, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, only 1 caution for the Rebels. That's incredible. Phenomenal run.
Those guys did a real nice job there tonight. Hopefully the Renegades guys, we can do the same thing here and follow the lead and maybe even go caution free.
Absolutely. Let's begin by talking with our top 3 here while we wait for points to fully calculate. First guy we got that finished in the 3rd position is Chad Cote. Chad, a nice run from you tonight. Walk us through it.
Yeah, it was good. The track was tacky at the beginning, so unfortunately with Volusia, if it hasn't widened completely out yet, the top is going to be the place to be, sort of like it was tonight.
Well, man, it was a good run. What do you take away from your positives this season?
The boys gave me a fast car all season long. It's the best that I've felt in a long time here. This Rebels division is getting pretty competitive as well. So, I mean, all in all, it was a good season.
And you got to win as well at Cedar Lake. That was a lot of fun to begin the year. Who do you want to give shout-outs to?
All my boys over at American Dirt Motorsports, our sponsors, Dirt Company Meat House, Ram Designs, 34 Raceway, WFO Race Engines, Marty, you guys, Roger for the league, and top 3 boys. Great job.
Alrighty. Well, we'll let you go, Chad. Congrats on a great season.
Thanks, Marty.
I like Chad's headset, too, by the way. Do you notice that? When he flips it unmutes. When he flips it back, it mutes. He's got a nice gadget there in that headset. Unfortunately, we don't have that. So, we're going to go to Cool Ray Victory Lane and talk with your race winner first, and Jeff Flaro. Jeff, you finally got the win you've been looking for this season. You came close at Charlotte, you came close at USA, and you got it at Fallujah. How's it feel, man?
Oh, very happy to get one. Last year in the Raiders, I was able to get one, and all season it took. There's a lot of good guys here in the Rebels.
You're one of them too, man, that's for sure. You led all 25 laps in this race. You were on the high side for most of it, but I got to ask you first. We know Brennan Lacey. He's been known for the low side. Are you surprised he couldn't get that to work?
Well, he was surprised that I went to the low side the last few laps, he was saying. And when I pulled up the victory lane for the picture, coming off of turn 4, I had 0.1 for fuel.
Wow. So
I
he
stayed
measured
up
it
longer.
perfectly.
Well, I was lucky. I had to give up a little bit. You know, when your spotter tells you got 2 laps of fuel left and there's 2 laps to go, you lose power, and that gap closes really quick.
Absolutely does. We've seen it. How good was this car on the outside though as a whole tonight? In the early parts of the race, in that long run.
I stayed up there a lot longer than I thought I could, and then when I got a little bit of a gap, made it a little bit easier, but I still had to hit my marks.
Positives you take away from the season.
Well, I finally got a great run and got the whole 25 laps in, so yeah, I thought
Yeah.
you'd be thinking about that, seeing me going down with a few to go, because that happened once, but no, it was for a good reason, and I guess I'm lucky I just had a little bit of a 1 point something gap.
Well, third in points at the end, man. Who do you want to give shout-outs to?
Oh, my wife for letting me do it, Glenn Stiers, and welcome him to the Canadian Motorsports Hall of Fame. Washweekend Speedway, you guys for the broadcast, Roger, Preston, and his team had a great season. It's sure nice to finish it off with a win.
Congrats to Glenn on that. Tell him we said hello, and a great win for you. Good way for Washweekend Speedway to end the spring season, that's for sure. Congrats, man.
Definitely. Thanks, man.
Jeff Flarrell finishing in Cool Ray Victory Lane, taking home the win. But we are going to talk with your champion. It's official, a 30-point championship margin for Brennan Lacey. You finally got him, man. How's it feel?
Dude, I've been stressing all week on this. You know, that's amazing. I mean, I've worked towards this, and to have the season I've had, it's just unreal to finally put one together and be able to put myself on top of one of these things. You know, it's a big accomplishment for me, especially, and started out like it wasn't even going to run for points as bad as I was running, and stuck with it thanks to the team, and look where we're at. It's a fantastic spot.
When you look back at that big winning streak you've had, which is one of the longest we've had in the Coast2Coast Racing League's history for, you know, our actual televised shows, is that the run that proves to you were meant to be the champion this year?
You know, when I looked at the schedule there and I won that first one, I can't remember. I think it might have been Lima that was the first one to start that run off, and I knew that the bottom was going to be where it was at, and I knew that that's where I want to run, and let's go after it. And then I look at the schedule, I'm like, these tracks are right up my alley, and then we were able to click off. I think it was 4. Yeah, it was four in a row, and then last week just had to get some show points, do some stuff I had to get, and so we had to kind of maneuver around that and put me in a little bit of a deficit. But that run set it along for me, especially after the beginning I had with like 3 finishes outside of the top 20. It was a crazy start, but glad we could get that run done when we did.
Let's talk about the race now, man. That low side looked pretty tough for you. You were going on the high side. How fast were you closing in though on Jeff?
You know, it was kind of interesting. I was surprised that he was going to the bottom, but I found out in the waiting room he was kind of running low on some fuel, so that explained it. But I mean, the dude was checked out. Jeff ran a fantastic race. I had nothing for him, and there at the start, I knew I just had to. I like the bottom, but Volusia's not my favorite track. I honestly don't like coming to this place, but you know, it's where a lot of people race, and I knew I had to start off on the bottom and at least get going, and I knew once I was clear of Cote, I had Golden in my ear telling me, you're clear, let's just run the top and let's get this thing done, and we were able to click it off and finish where we got.
Well, we know you're fast in this series, overall in the Outlaws. You got a 127 IL at the end of the year. Will we see you in the Renegades next season full-time?
Yeah, that's the plan. Hopefully we can carry this momentum over. Glad to finally get back up to where I can run the A division. I like the competition in there a lot better and lot closer racing. It helps me get better at my driving styles, and it really lets me, prove against some good guys where I stand in this league, and fantastic group of guys that run the A division. So I'm looking forward to running the night, actually, since I can actually be able to do that, and then going after it next season, see if we can capitalize on an A championship.
Well, who do you want to give shout-outs to on this run, man?
Huge thanks, Vanderbilt Racing. Those guys. I owe it all to them. I mean, without their help and the setups that they helped me go through, it wouldn't have been possible. We clicked it off there and putting in the time and the effort to get them dialed into where I want it, to where we could just click off some races. And I can't thank Jesse and Goldner, Moonen, Fitzy, Brandon, and JP, all them boys enough. I mean, Ross does a huge job with us too, doing all the paints for us, making us look good when we can get on these podiums, and especially now that I can finally go back and tell them I got them a championship in a different division. So I'm glad. Thanks for them boys, and I can't thank you guys enough for broadcasting. Fantastic broadcast as always, and look forward to you guys and Racing League here in the next season.
Alrighty, man. Well, we'll let you go. Enjoy it. Go celebrate.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate that.
Brendan Lacey taking the championship again. Both Lacey and Flero in Coolray Victory Lane. So we bring you your results here from tonight. Once again, only one caution. I think that's the lowest amount of cautions we have had all season with the Rebels. So give it up for the drivers. They put on just an incredible show tonight. A great long run race at the end. That looked like a Renegades race, John. I'm not kidding. And you've got that coming up next. So there's a lot of pressure.
Yeah, well, if you also look at that, Lacey, he's a Renegades driver. He's an A series driver. He always has been. He's always had the speed. A few of these guys are down here either because they didn't do a full season, or they could have had some problems with their IL or something like that. So it's no surprise the level of racing that we've seen down there tonight. And like I said, they set the bar high. We're gonna have to meet that bar when we turn them loose here tonight for the Renegades.
Only an 8-minute race, by the way, for those wondering, per Sim Racer Hub. And so, with that being said, I know we've got 15 minutes to go until the next race, but we'll take an extended break this time here and get you all set to go for the Renegades in just a moment. Here are your final points after the night is done. And we actually won't be able to show them to you, but it is Brendan Lacey with a 30-point win on Bob Everson as he takes home the championship. Renegades coming up next.
off turn 4, white flag in the air. Justin Hare's top shelf where Mama hides the cookies. Can he get the lead? Yes, he does. And now here comes Janzik. Janzik goes by Query, and he goes by Inman. Gonna drag race off of turn 4. Shepard is there, but it's Larry White at the line. It's still gonna be Pat Ward, and they make contact. Britton has broken the race car. Peter Britton comes to a stop in
in our industry. The lifetime parts and labor warranty is pretty awesome. Basically, all the parts are covered, the labor and everything.
When we say lifetime, we mean lifetime, and it's supported with money-back guarantees. And with that, you're getting all qualified technicians that are going to ensure that this job is done perfectly and operates perfectly throughout the life of the unit.
Learn more about our Coolray lifetime parts and labor warranty at Coolray.com. Coolray and Carrier. Turn to the experts.
for the race lead off turn 4. White flag in the air. Justin Hares, top shelf where Mama hides the cookies. Can he get the lead? Yes, he does. And now here comes Janzik. Janzik goes by Query, and he goes by Inman. Gonna drag race off of turn 4. Shepard is there, but it's Larry White at the line. It's still gonna be Pat Ward, and they make contact. Britton has broken the race car. Peter Britton comes to a stoppage.
In our industry. The lifetime parts and labor warranty is pretty awesome. Basically, all the parts are covered, the labor and everything.
When we say lifetime, we mean lifetime, and it's supported with money-back guarantees. And with that, you're getting all qualified technicians that are going to ensure that this job is done perfectly and operates perfectly throughout the life of the unit.
Learn more about our Coolray lifetime parts and labor warranty at Coolray.com. Coolray and Carrier. Turn to the experts.
Welcome back to live coverage of the Coast to Coast Racing League, where we are now under the lights here at Volusia Speedway Park as we get set to go here for live coverage. The Renegades are about to throw down, brought to you by Dylan Westbrook Racing. And oh boy, the title is intense here once again. We've got, at this moment, coming on in, about 5 drivers that could have a chance at this championship. So here's how it looks coming on in with the drops. There's one guy that we don't have included, and we'll explain why in just a moment. But here's your top 5 after round 11. Patrick Spangler, after his first ever Renegades win, 711 to 694 on Blake Chapman. Ross Carina, 690. Aiden Young, 628. Kyle Moonen, 613. And then Steven Gollner is 6th in points with 592. Gollner has to make this race. He's not able to use any drops any drops of his previous races, and so he is getting set to go for his final race. Actually, yep, his final race for points, a must-have for points. And Goldner coming on in, 592 points and 6, but he's got 5 wins this season, John Hine.
Yeah, he does. And, one of the guys that aren't here that are in the points is Aiden Young. I don't see him on the list here tonight, so there will definitely be some shuffling of the top 5 just on that alone. But, yeah, Goldner with those 5 wins, that's going to be big, and then we'll see if he can close the deal out here tonight.
Jeff Barker coming off in turn 4, looking for a great lap. He goes 5th. Here's Patrick Spangler across the line. Quick time at a 13.347 for the 39, last week's first-time winner in the Renegades. Second lap for Patrick Spangler. Faster! A 13.315. Now on the speedway in 7th quick is Joe Backus in the 46, just ran a 13.46. Lacey quick time at a 13.305. Ross Carrera tries to go faster on lap number 2. He can't. Lacey's second lap, slower, but he still is the quickest. Let's go to Blake Chapman in the 20. And through 3 and 4 for Blake Chapman. Stephen Goldner takes it to the top. Blake Chapman down to 6th, but Stephen Goldner is on a mission to come back and win this championship with no drops at all. I don't think we have yet to see it in the drop formations where drivers had a drop race. This could be the first guy in the Coast2Coast Racing League to win a championship without any drops. Who knows, John?
Yeah, and Goldner is one of the best, and that, he proves it week in and week out when he shows up, always up top, top of the pylon there. Not surprising to see his name up there again tonight.
Kyle Moonen will not get a second lap in as he is 9th quick. Now, I did some calculations with how it would look right now if we did the drops right now. And this, by the way, this is all unofficial. This is just trying to do math in my calculator. Right now, we believe Blake Chapman would have a 10-point lead on Patrick Spangler. Him and Ross Carrera would be tied for 2nd in points. Stephen Goldner would be back with 587 points, but once again, you got to remember the drops. Goldner has a chance to possibly get up there and win. Now, if we look at Stephen's finishes coming on in, he's actually going to be in this heat race, so we can actually talk a little more about him. When we look at his finishes this season, he does have 5 wins. One race, he's got a 2nd. Another race, he's got a 3rd. 2 races, though, outside the top 10. A 12th place finish at Eldora and a 22nd place finish at Cedar Lake. So, will be interesting to see how he does, as he did win the ABR Setup Shop Quick Time Award. As we're set to go for our first heat, brought to you by Magnum Race Design. We've got 3 heats set for you, and here's how we line things up. Joe Backus and Ross Carrera on row number 1. Stephen Goldner, Brandon Templeton, row number 2. And what in the world is that scheme on row number 3? That is a Yoo-Hoo car driven by Terry Landis. I love it. I love it. When you are the newest inductee of the Coast2Coast Hall of Fame, you could use whatever paint scheme you want. It doesn't even matter, John Hine.
Yeah, and that, I believe, is his first paint scheme. So,
he made it.
Yeah, well, no. His first one that he probably ran in his championship year. When I first started in C2C, he was the Yoo-Hoo man, and that's the car that I saw. And I think I came in like in the 2nd season or something like that. So, my guess is with that Hall of Fame induction there, which is so cool for Terry, so proud of him, so well deserving. One of our first champion, our first champion. That's a throwback. He went back to the Wayback Machine and pulled that one out.
That's awesome. I love that for Terry. Very happy for him. We congratulate him on the Hall of Fame. But we're set to go.
Yeah,
for our
like I
first
said,
heat race.
very deserving. A hell of a thing for him.
Absolutely. Now he's got to put his focus on this heat. Everyone makes the show regardless. Top 4 transfer directly to the feature, and more importantly, the winner starts on pole position tonight. Watch Stephen Goldner very closely. A championship contender as we're green. Goldner's already up to second within 2 corners. We'll see what he can do off of turn number 4, but it's Ross Carrera that leads lap number 1. Championship contenders battling. They've got right now spots inside the top 5, John. They want to battle for a pole position tonight. That'd be absolutely huge.
Yeah, that will be. And I think I just had a packet loss or something. I got booted out of that session.
Don't worry, John, I can take you over here. Stephen Goldner, quickest lap last time by 13:46. Corinna counters over. He's got the lead that time at the stripe. He pulls the slide job on Stephen Goldner. Joe Backus tries to get into this battle to make it a 3-car jam session for this race lead. Goldner goes for the slide job in 3 and 4. That could be the move there at the line. Could be the winning move. We'll have to see. Corinna slides up on its own. Itchy for Goldner. He's got Backus in the way. They nearly went 3 wide off in turn 2. Goldner slides up just in front of Corinna. Ross won't be able to slide on Stephen Goldner. That won't be able to work. And look at the top 5. All nose to tail at the moment. I should say top 4 rather. This is fun. We're coming to 2 to go in this heat race, and Stephen Goldner is looking like a man on a mission with 4 wheels on. Meanwhile, Corinna through 3 and 4, still in second spot. White is out. Who's starting on pole position tonight? This could be close between Goldner and Corinna. 2 car lengths through 1 and 2. Corinna tries extremely higher line. Checkers are out. Goldner takes the win in heat race number 1 by 4 tenths. He was faster last time over Corinna on that final lap by 2.2 tenths. And so the second heat race of the evening brought to you by 2-1 Designs. Here's how they line things up. We've got Canadians on the front row. In fact, these are actually the Canadians that were on the front row in the Rebels feature. Just reversed. Jed Cote and Jeff Flero, row 1. Jesse Bandy, Brennan Lacey, row 2. Jeff Barker and John Hine in row number 3.
Man, just made it back in by the hair of my chinny chin chin.
So winner will start on the outside of pole position. John, we're glad you're not in the booth to give us your one driver to watch out for. So
I'll pick me.
Okay.
Maybe I'll wreck. Maybe I'll wreck, and everybody else will see that what comes around goes around. Maybe that's what I should do here.
That works then.
But I'll tell you the one to watch. In all honesty, this track has got a lot of slick to it. The other divisions tonight, their starting state when they qualified was, they didn't rework the track. They reworked the track a lot more than what you do here. We've already got. I'm looking here where the track is already worn in. Is almost to where you saw the B feature for the Rebels. So the guys are going to have to move around here and be careful and figure out where to go to be fast.
So we're set to go green here. Again, winner starts on the outside of the front row. Top 4 transfer. Everyone on back gets free qualifying. Let us know who you're rooting for in the chat. Hello to Gary Spangler, the Lernerville safety crew watching. I can't wait to meet you next month for the Firecracker. Here we go. Cote and Flero nearly touch in turn 1. Flero gets the nod off the corner. Cote tries to shut the out of Barker. And John Hine does not get involved in that wreck. That's what happens when you pick yourself, John. You miss wrecks and you get in a transfer spot. Oh.
Yeah, and everybody's going to be a lot madder. I got to slow down and get into that B main. I need the laps to lower my IL here.
I don't blame you. I don't blame you. Let's focus up front, though. Jeff Flero and Chad Cote having a good battle. Quarter of a second between each other. Bandy and Lacey, the top 4. Only 3 drivers. Excuse me, pardon me. Only 5 drivers on the lead lap. All of them on the lead lap, pardon me. Flero quickest lap last time by at a 13:46. If he can start on the front row for this feature, this would be big. This would kind of be like Flero's alphabet soup moment from last season at USA when he went from Raiders to Rebels to Renegades. 1 in Raiders, 1 in Rebels, 2nd in Renegades. Well, he can't fake race in Raiders, obviously. It would be really cool if he can win in B and win in A and make up for what happened in the past. We've seen drivers do that before. For example, we used to have Lane Snook in the series, and he would do that a lot. Win in B and win in A. So this is a big moment here for Jeff Flero as he's about to catch the tail end of this bat. So checkers are out, and Flero will start on the outside of the front row. All right, so we're set to go for our 3rd heat race. Brought to you by Chip Bangers Racing, and only 5 drivers in this heat. It's Bob DeGood and Kyle Moonen on row number 1. Blake Chapman, Patrick Spangler, row 2. Nathan Aldrich in 5th position. A stacked heat in the sandwich of this heat. You know, you got Moonen and you got DeGood and Aldrich in the crust, but then the meat, man. It's gonna be a fun one.
Yeah, those cats there in the middle. I think they all got something on the line here tonight, Marty.
Absolutely.
You know, having just been out there, that track changed a lot just in that heat race alone. I could tell, you know, I was almost a full half a lane to a lane higher by the end of that race to get grip and on my corner entries and stuff like that. So this track continues to change rapidly tonight.
Absolutely, and just imagine what we could see for the Renegades tonight.
Yeah, I mean, all of us, most of us in here like it slick, you know, because then you got to kind of drive the car. So I think we would all like to see it slick all the way up to the wall and then get after it in a track like that.
So ready to go green for this 3rd heat race. Winner of this heat race starts inside of row number 2. Ready to go green. DeGood and Moonen go side by side in the corners, but Moonen gets away with the lead. Patrick Spangler, last week's winner, around the outside of DeGood as well. This middle groove, the place to be. Bob DeGood left out to dry. Blake Chapman looking to get up on the outside for 3rd spot, but Spangler looks to make a run underneath. The low side is working as Spangler goes for the slide job, John.
Yeah, I was going to say, Spangler has got that bottom in 3 and 4, especially going well here. We'll see. He went high here in 1 and 2. Let's see if he goes low here in 3 and 4. He does not. He goes up to the top.
Remember, this was last week's winner at USA. Imagine if this guy can go back-to-back and come out clutching, winning the last 2 races, and maybe even win the Renegades Championship. He came close in the past 2 seasons, this would be amazing if he could get it done tonight. He's got 4 laps to go to try and start on the inside of row 2, but Moonen and Chapman are on the tail.
Yeah, they are, and 2 different lines. Chapman on the bottom, Moonen on the top, and Chapman seems to close a little bit on Moonen on the bottom.
Another 2 laps to go this time by. Nice job from Moonen so far on the defense. Chapman just following in the tracks. When does he make this move for second? I think he's going for it now, though. But nothing. White flag underway.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Blake keeps trying to dime in the corners. He goes in high here. Now watch him. He cuts right down to the bottom on exit and gets a heck of a run, and just too late to do anything.
Patrick Spangler wins the heat race. Moonen, Chapman, and DeGood get the transfer spots directly to the feature. And now we've got our B main brought to you by Flatline Racing Bodies. Terry Landis and Jeff Barker on row 1. Nathan Aldrich, John Short, row 2. John Hines starts from 5th position. Look at that car. Isn't that awesome to see? The Yoo-Hoo car from Terry Landis.
It is, and it's even got some of the retro, yeah, I see Strickland's underneath the wing on the back, and Strickland's was a partner of ours when I first got into the league, and just really cool to see that car. And again, you know, Terry, I don't know if he goes back and watches this, but very proud of him, and just very cool to see him get that that induction, because he was very, very deserving of it.
So set to go here for our B main.
You know, Marty, John Short and I are on the same program here. We're both trying to, you know, we're just here for the IL, trying not to get any to lower them both. Now, I'm wondering if he and I are going to race to see who finishes last here.
That's going to be fun.
You know, no, you go. It'll be, no, you go. You go ahead of me.
And then you guys battle it out for a hard charger spot.
Yeah, no, I'm going to stay back so I don't get caught in anything. I want 1 incident point's going to be 1 too many for me tonight. So I'm just going to hang out back here.
Alrighty, well, we will see what happens. Under a lap till we get the green flag. Again, these drivers gain extra practice as we get set to go racing. Final B main of the season for the Coast2Coast Racing League. Here we go. Short gets moved up the track, and now we watch the game of chicken. Hines currently the chicken at the moment. Meanwhile, Terry Landis rocking the inside, gets past Jeff Barker, and currently leads. John Short wants to race with Nathan Aldrich for 3rd position, and look at the run they got on Jeff Barker just together. The Highside's going to come in high, wide, and handsome tonight. Aldrich gets past Jeff Barker. Let's see if Short can. Landis may want to start taking notes and get up there top shelf where Mama hides the cookies, because the sweet stuff is coming on in big time and adds a lot of sugar to it. Well, very strange. The driver that's running in last place just ran the best lap of this race in a 13:76.
Yeah. Well, I tell you, the track is like almost in the perfect condition right now, but the top side, as you can see, everybody, Landis is running the top and running flawless, but looks like Nate's up there to challenge him, though.
Let's watch this. Landis has gone up to the outside line. It is Yoo-Hoo versus the pit side podcast car. Ooh, all just got a little bit tight off turn 4, nearly clipped the wall. So we're halfway through the B main. Here comes Shorty down low. Can't make the pass stick, trying to work that inside line. Oh, there he goes.
Short went around.
That's loss of control and increases the IL.
Yeah, John didn't need that, that's for sure.
At a 231 IL coming on in, and he's in big risk of possibly having to go down to the B division next year. 2 to go, meanwhile, for the Hall of Famer. It's a 3/4 of a second lead on Terry Landis. Winner starts in 13th tonight, John.
Yeah, and you know, this track is really in good condition here, and 13th isn't too far back to make noise here, but those guys that are running for that championship, you got to believe they're going to be on it as tightly packed as they are.
Here he comes through turn number 4. Yoo-hoo! Terry Landis wins the B main.
Marty, I ran out of gas in turn 4.
Oh, look at you go. Look at you, weirdo, go. And you still came home in 3rd.
Yeah, I forgot to put fuel in it from the heat. I have to have a talk with that crew chief. I might be in the market for a new crew chief. Anybody out there might want to step up.
Anyway, we go to the Osh Weekend Speedway warm-up watch, and as we get set to go, let's remind you of the point standings. Coming on, we're going to update the graphic here to include Stephen Goldner. We've got it set. Here's how it looks coming on in. Patrick Spangler is the championship leader. This is before the final drop. 711 to 694 points, which is a 25-point lead, excuse me, a 15-point lead on Blake Chapman. This could be the battle for the champ. They could be battling for the win tonight. We'll just have to see what happens. You got Ross Carina in this battle as well. Moonen likely won't be a factor, but you got to remember Stephen Goldner's 5 wins this season. We'll watch the drivers here for the final 90 seconds. When we come back, it's feature time. Well, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of Coolray, the Austrian Speedway, the Coast2Coast Racing League, and all the fine drivers and sponsors, we thank you for choosing to spend your Monday throughout the past 12 weeks with us. It is now time to meet the field of 17, ready to take the green flag for 30 laps at Fallujah. Ladies and gentlemen, here is the Super Car Series starting lineup. On the front row, it's Stephen Goldner in the 30 and Jeff Flero in the 200, a pair of Canadians once again. Row number 2, Patrick Spangler in the 39 and Ross Carina in the 010. Row 3, Chad Cote in the 11 and Kyle Moonen in car 24. Row 4, Joe Backus in the 46 and Jesse Bandy in the 57. Row 5, Blake Chapman in the 20 and Brandon Templeton in the 31. And in row number 6, Brendan Lacey in the 414 and Bobby Good in car number 7. Row number 7 is Terry Landis in the 161 and Nathan Aldrich in the 514. Row 8, John Hine in the 71 and Jeff Barker in the 513. And starting from 17th spot is John Shore.
And real quick, Marty, before we get going, we do want to send a shout out to all of the families of fallen heroes, so all the soldiers that didn't come home throughout all of our engagements overseas and whatnot, or just even serving at home. Accidents can happen, and this is your day for us to remember them and pay respect to them. And we're thinking about you, and thank you for your sacrifice.
Absolutely. We will be keeping the first lap silent for you in honor of the men and women that we have lost. Championship Monday on this fine Memorial Day. It's intense right now on the track. For as many as 4 drivers, as many as 5 drivers, 4 of them. They've got goosebumps right now. The Elephants. Pardon me, they got goosebumps right now at the moment, and it's going to be a fun one. Spangler, 711, a 15-point lead on Blake Chapman. And 21 back is Ross Carreno. We're ready to go green for the Dylan Westbrook Racing start. It's Championship Monday on this fine Memorial Day. You've got the man with 5 wins on pole position and in the running for the championship. Enjoy this one. It's showtime at Fallujah. Caution is out already. And it's Brendan Lacey involved. So we'll do the start once again, this time single file. Let's see what happened to the Rebels champion. Just catch the inside wall. We did. Around he went. Terry Landis just missing it. And so a solo car spin for Lowline Lacey. That's one of the rarest moments I've seen. Lowline Lacey spinning on the low line.
Yeah, I think that'd fall under the oops category.
I definitely agree with you there for sure. So we'll do this once again. So we will see how this goes. Again, only have completed 1 lap, so ignore the lap counter on the screen. That will update for us. So we will try the Dylan Westbrook Racing start once again. Update on where the championship contenders are running. Stephen Goldner is leading. Patrick Spangler 3rd, Ross Carreno is 4th, Kyle Moonen is 6th, Blake Chapman is 9th. And those are the drivers on track at the moment. We're ready to go green once again. Again, we'll do the silent lap once again. Good battle for second between Spangler and Flero. Let's see if last week's winner can clear the 200. Remember, Flero is so good on the high side, but remember, though, in the final few laps of the 25-lap feature, he was having a tough time struggling on the outside line. We'll see if he struggles even more if it comes to a 30-lap situation. Spangler clears for second. Here comes Ross Carina in the O10. Look to the inside, doesn't work. Flero wants to slide up on the 39. I hope he realizes that both Goldner and Spangler are in contention for the championship. But the Canadian is just more focused on winning this one. And he gets into Spangler, close call there. Shuts the door on the 39. Carina to the inside of Spangler for third spot on track. Let's see if the Busch car can go 2 for 1 in one lap. Is it gonna work off the corner? No, Flero has second at the line. And the Canadian right there on the 30, right on board. That's from Flero. Goldner to the inside. That's Flero, pardon me, to the inside. Flero takes the lead of the line. Jeff Flero over Steven Goldner. That guy could check out. Big slider on the 30. But Goldner tries to fight back once again. The Canadians going at it. Bruin for the lead at Fallujah. Flero tries to fight once more, once again. Ross Carina gets into this matchup. Goldner clears, the sliders doesn't work for Jeff. And now Carina tries to put a slider up on his own. He can't clear Flero just yet, but it's Carina at second spot at the start-finish line. Flero tries to fight it back once more. Down to the bottom, they nearly touch down the back chute. And Flero on the slide up, he's got second. Carina tries to fight it back. Steven Goldner has no idea what he's missing out of that rear view mirror at the moment. Moonen's currently in fourth position, by the way. Spangler has fallen back to fifth. Blake Chapman, for those wondering, currently running in a battle for sixth with Chad Cote. First guy on the bottom side on track, you see it there is Blake Chapman, who's fallen back to seventh and may fall back to eighth on Jesse Bandy. Who knows what's going to happen? They're 3 wide in turn number 4. Battle for the lead, they'll fight once again. Flero to the inside, can't slide up. What a way to end the season at the moment. Goldner and Flero are trading gunshots at the moment. Flero tries to fight it back. Still riding it up on the outside. Carina's up there as well. Here goes Flero, looks to send it on the bottom. Tries to fire a slide job at him. That doesn't work though. To the outside, nearly got the wall in turn number 3. You've got 5 cars battling for the race lead at the moment here at Fallujah. There's Spangler inside on Moonen looking for 4th position on track. Cross flags just flew, 15 up, 15 down. Flero tries the inside but can't get that to work. Goldner was in the middle, now moves into the top. Here comes Carina looking for the runner-up spot. Flero shuts the door on him, he crosses it over. See if Carina can get second here at the start-finish line. This would be a big slider. Can't get it though. Just enough room for Flero to have second. He tries to cross over for the lead. What a run for Jeff Flero. He clears Goldner. But he had too much of a set. Goldner to the inside. Slide job, Steven. And Goldner goes back out front. 12 to go. Flero fights it back. He puts a slider on him as well. Flero to the lead. Steven goes back out it. The Vanderbilt car goes for it once again. At the stripe, 10 to go, 11 to go rather, it's Flero. Here comes Carina, oh my goodness! Carina tries to slide up, that doesn't work. This is amazing, folks. Goldner tries to slide up on Flero. Flero to the lead with 10 laps left. Carina just hanging on in there. Kyle Moonen's in this battle. Patrick Spangler's in this battle. Goldner's in trouble. He's falling back to 4th. The low side's only working if you can slide up. You're watching for second, Moonen and Carina. Jeff Flero, 8 laps away from his first Renegades win. Can he do it? He's gonna have to wait. Caution is out. And for the second time tonight, it's Brennan Lacey. Take a breath, people. Take as many breaths as you can. Drink as much water as you can. Because we have seen the best racing so far in the Renegades this season. And it's about to get better. That is odd. Let's see if there's any. See if there's any precessor of that. Just caught the cushion, rode it too much, and boom, into the Tory tire. John, I'm going to tell you this. I know you're in 14th, but you got no idea what you're missing out on.
Man, I'm just listening to you go, man. It sounded like a couple times that you might have needed an oxygen tank there. I can't wait to go back and watch this. But, yeah, just kind of cruising along here. And I'll tell you, you know, Lacey getting into the stars over there, the entrance, the guys, I don't know who's running where up there, but whoever's up top, that entrance now is getting really, really tricky because that wall sticks out there a little bit. But you can be lightning fast if you can put that tire on your turn and like right where that caution light is. If you hit it just right, my gosh, you can fly through this corner. But if you hit it wrong, you end up in the fence. I'm going to presume like Lacey did. It's a very fine line over there.
1 lap to green. This is Jeff Flaro's 11th Renegade start ever since we've started using Sim Racer Hub in the Coast to Coast Racing League. If he can get this done, this would be a huge upset in the making. And this would be one the Canadians in Oswego, Ontario would go nuts over. You got Flaro, Corinna, Moonen, Goldner, Spangler, the top 5 are ready to go back to green. 7 laps to end the season. Land of Legends restart. Nice restart from Flaro, but he's the only guy to go on the bottom amongst the front 5. And just tries to get the arc going, but Corinna gets a run. Gets up to the rear end of Jeff Flaro. Kyle Moonen tries to get up there. Last time that Flaro was in a battle for a win in the Renegades, Kyle Moonen was the one that spoiled the party for him last year at USA. But we'll see what it all comes down to. The final 5 in the spring season for the Renegades. Flaro looking to go out on top. His eye out to end the year was 113. He could possibly be moving up to Renegades next season. We'll have to see. He's 4 laps away from a win. Battle for second on between Ross Coretta and Kyle Moonen. Blake Chapman 6th, Patrick Spangler's 5th, Stephen Goldner's 4th, Kyle Moonen is 3rd for those wondering. Corinna the highest of the championship contenders. 3 laps to go. You've got the battle for 4th between Stephen Goldner and Patrick Spangler. Blake Chapman's still on the inside line. And he's in a battle with Bandy and Cote for 6th. 2 to go for Jeff Flaro. He's looking to go 2 for 3 tonight. 1.5 laps away from doing it. He had to put up a fight. It was a dog fight with both Stephen Goldner and Ross Coretta. He sees the white flag. 1 lap to go from his first Renegades win. 0.6 of a second lead. Corinna's got to deal with Moonen for second. Oswego, Ontario, stand up. Your boy is one of the Renegades. Jeff Flaro for the Glenn Steyers Racing Oswego Speedway team. Oh, what a moment this is for Jeff Flaro. Look at that. Boy, you can celebrate all you want. You've finally done it. The one that got away, the second place finish at USA. It comes back to him for Fallujah. And finally, he's a winner. And for the championship, I don't know. This is way too close to count. And I think it's all going to come down to the penalty points. It won't be the hard charger. That goes to John Short. It's coming down to the penalty points, in my opinion. We don't have it yet. We're going to check, though. But, man, let's get Jeff Flaro on in here while we can. Dude, you finally got the Renegades win.
That's for you, Marty, just as well, buddy.
Dude, you got Oswego Speedway so happy, dude.
I stayed on the top.
Dude, after last season, You had the second place finish at USA, going for the rare Triple Crown. You got 2 wins from Rebels to Renegades, dude. Is this the best night of your life in Coast to Coast?
Oh, for sure. Great time I've had. I just been lucky a little bit with the draw, and I was able to do it. Hey, the guy I finished second to at USA, he finished behind me tonight.
Well, buddy, I got to tell you something. That was a dogfight. You had to fight for that. Talk about that battle with you, Steven, and Ross.
There was some close calls, but everybody was racing with lots of respect, and we seemed to all have good car control. Maybe me the worst of the 3, but I still had a good night.
What do you take away from this, man? I know we're all tired up here too. That was the best racing we've seen all season.
I'm heading to the gazebo, and I'm firing that race up to watch it. Because it was great out there. Man, there was lead changes, but in the end, I remember you saying when I got off the bottom, I lost one of those races, and it stuck in my head. So I said, well, if I'm going to lose it, it'll be on the top or in the wall.
Well, once again, who do you want to give shout-outs to?
Oh, same as always. Definitely the wife for putting up with me. She wasn't happy to say I had another race tonight, but I'm very glad I did it. And maybe I'll get her to watch it with me.
Oh man, well, buddy, we're really happy for you. The Oswego Speedway's happy for you, as well as Glenn Steyer's. Enjoy it.
I'll have to show them the video. Thanks, guys.
No problem.
And thank you, Marty.
Thank you, Jeff. Jeff Flero celebrating Cool Ray Victory Lane. The standings are official. Your Renegades champion by only 6 points. Patrick Spangler in the 39. Wow. He's finally done it. Spangler is the Renegade champion by 6 points on Blake Chapman and by 13 on Ross Carina. Wow. That is awesome. We gotta get Patrick. I can't move Patrick. So I need you guys. Yeah. Go tell Patrick to come in here. I'll get Ross and Kyle.
I don't see Patrick. Oh, there he is.
He's in the hauler. Yeah, so that's why I can't.
I'll get him.
All right.
I'll get him.
All right. Let's get our.
Here he is.
All right. Awesome. We got him in there, so we'll wait for him. Let's get our second place finisher, and that is Ross Carina. Ross, man, I was just telling Jeff, that was a dogfight, man, between you, Jeff, and Steven. What more did you need?
Well, I think all I could really do is just hope he makes a mistake. He got a good jump on me the one restart we had, and he went to the bottom, and I pulled back up to him, and he just ran the top too good. I didn't have anything for him.
Hate to tell you this, buddy. You finished third in points by 13. What do you take away from this season? You've been a strong contender all season, like confident finishing in the top 10 all year.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, obviously, a couple more wins would have been nice. I think. I don't know. I'd have to look, but I'd probably say I'm probably the highest averaging finishing driver. So I don't really know what else you could do there, but hats off to, I think Patrick won. I mean, obviously, ran a heck of a season, and then Blake too for getting second.
Who do you want to give shout outs to?
The guys over at Phantom Motorsports, Elite Performance Industries, our sponsors, Velocity Race Design, Weichel Sportswear, Power Outdoors. You guys for putting on the show, and Roger and everybody running the league, and hopefully we can pull one out next season.
Alrighty, man. Great season. Congrats.
Thank you.
Ross Carina, our second place finisher. Our third place finisher is Kyle Moonen tonight. Kyle, talk about your race. You watched a good battle up front.
Yeah, it was a good battle. It was just kind of waiting, for something to open up or someone to mess up, and just never really came to me.
It was a great season, though, for you, man. That's for sure. Finishing fourth in the standings, 2 wins, 8 top 5s, 9 top 10s. What do you take away from this fun run?
No, it was definitely better, the second half of the season. Definitely didn't have a good first handful of races, but that's all right. That happens, and we'll be back next season.
Who do you want to give shout-outs to?
Just all the guys at Bandy Built, Ross Crin at Velocity Race Designs, and John Hine for helping me get my VR set up. I just got one of those, and he helped me kind of tune it in today and get it working a little smoother. So appreciate that, and you guys for the broadcast and everyone for the league.
All right, appreciate the run. Congratulations on a great season.
Yep, no problem. Thanks.
Kyle Moonen finishing in 3rd position. But now it is time to talk with your Renegades champion. 6-point win in the championship for Patrick Spangler. You did it, dude. You got your first Renegade win last week, and now you pick up the championship, dude. How do you put it into words, man?
Just got lucky. Good thing Goldner missed 2 races because he had 5 wins. He had a hell of a season, but just avoiding incidents. That's the biggest swing, I think, in this league. So you get a couple races with 0 incidents, get the +5. It's a 7-point swing in those races usually. So
when you look back at that hard-fought win at USA, and that was a incredible run for you, and the same thing as well, you had those incident-free runs. Do you look at that as saying, hey, that's how I won the championship?
yeah, because they only do the feature points, so it's all pretty close, like 1st, 2nd, 3rd. So a lot of the guys had a high average finish, but if you can get those incident frees, and then they have 2 or 4 incidents, that's a 7 or 9-point swing. I only won by 6 points, so I got lucky tonight because I was trying to just stay top 5 and avoid the incidents, but I still got 6X tonight, so it was not the best night for me there.
It was incredible. We all know you when it comes to the series with the black and green checkered flag paint scheme. We love it in this series. But how are you going to celebrate this night tonight, man?
Just looking forward to next season. Happy we finally got the win here. Won the D division when I first joined, and then I've been top 3, I think, in the A division the past 2 seasons. I was finally glad to be able to beat Blake there for a change, where he had my number the past 2 seasons.
Well, who do you want to give shout-outs to, man?
Just Roger for putting the league on, you for always the awesome broadcast, best broadcaster in the business here, and then we have Team SSR for bringing me on, and the setups, and just the wife for letting me race.
Well, buddy.
Dad and uncle back home.
Yeah, well, buddy, go celebrate this. Congratulations on the championship.
Thanks. Catch you next season.
You as well. Patrick Spangler, the top driver in the Outlaws this season with the Renegades. Patrick Spangler, your champion. And, of course, all of our winners and our champions tonight have been celebrating all season long in Cool Ray Victory Lane. Cool Ray's goal is to make sure that Ray's tradition of 100% customer satisfaction lives on today. Cool Ray is proud of their reputation of providing excellent service to homeowners and businesses in Georgia. Their mission is to continue to build long-lasting relationships with their customers through their winning spirit and commitment to 100% satisfaction, guaranteed. So as we take a look at our final results from tonight, man, oh man, that was a crazy, that was the perfect race to end the Outlaws this season. It really was.
Well, I sure think it sounded like it. Of course, I have you in my ear the whole time, and that's about as excited as I've heard you. So I cannot wait to go back and see this. And you're right. When you've got close championships like that, to finish a season with a good hard race like that, with nobody costing anybody. You're not seeing anybody take anybody out or anything like that. That's just a testament to the quality of drivers that we have in this league. And man, I tell you, this is just the start. We've got crazy points battles lined up this whole week. This is just going to be a great week. I'd make sure that you subscribe to the YouTube channel if you're watching right now, and make sure that you've got the reminders set, because I think every race this week is going to be crazy like this.
Absolutely is. So The driver with the most points in Monday Night Madness this season, we confirmed to you, by the way, was Patrick Spangler with 719. Jack Hitt, 712. Brennan Lacey, 691. And let's talk about those, what we got coming up on Tuesday night. We've got the hometown heroes battling it out with the UMPs, 305s and 360s. UMPs, Randy Shreves up 669 to 604 on Nathan Aldrich. For the 305s, you've got Brian Moore up 554 to 509 on Nathan Aldrich. And the 360s, Randy Shreves has that locked down, 708 to 576 on Blake Chapman. That begins at 7 p.m. on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. Again, all of that at I-55. Wednesday night, we've got Vets and First Responders Night. You've got the 305s and 410s at USA, the Vets and 410s at Fallujah, and the Midgets at Charlotte. Here are how the points look coming on in for the 305s. You've got Andy Patton and Jeff Barker going at it, 727 to 309. The Wingless Warriors, Terry Landis and Jeff Barker, 686 to 617. In the 410s, Jeff and Terry again, 642 to 627. Thursday Night Thunder at Cedar Lake to end the season. That is going to be fun to watch as well. You've got Alex Pomelo, Isaac Salas, Brian Lawson, Zach Chapman, again, before the final drop of the season. 655, 651, 639, 605. Brandon Templeton in fifth, 598. I guess you can include him. Jeff Barker, 583. Isaac Salas, 6 wins of on the season, so keep that in mind. The big blocks, John, 671. John Hines, Zach Chapman, 615. Jeff Barker, 605. And then the Pro Late models, Kurt Schatzer, 673. John Hine, 639. And then we've got Friday Night Lights happening this week to end the season at Fallujah. Here's how it looks. Ryan LaFave up on Anthony Marvuglio, 644 to 611. The limited late models, Chris Cox to Anthony Marvuglio, 699 to 642. And then the 305s, Anthony Marvuglio and Caden Berry, 634 to 585. Andy Pan up there with 581. But we are very excited to see how the season ends off. We appreciate you tuning in with us all season long for Monday Night Madness. We'll be off next week for Week 13. Next season, John, we've got another new track as well. Port Royal is coming to iRacing.
Yeah, the Speed Palace is going to be.
I can't wait.
I can't either. Boy, these sprints are going to get it around that track. And,
everyone's going to get it. That is a dirt. That's a dirt fan's dream. Like any track can race there.
Yeah, I can't wait to, like I said, get a hold of that track. But I'll tell you this, though, just the track aside, our lineup for next season, we've got a pretty neat lineup that'll be announced here over the next few days. I'm fortunate enough, I kind of got a sneak peek of what's going to be coming on, and very diversified. Once again, we're going to have almost something for everybody to race. You can go out to c2crl.com, get signed up now, be a part of our next season. Man, this is just exciting. The league is in a better shape than I've seen it since the time that I've come in. The group of drivers that are here now, or every one of them are just first class all the way through. And this is such a fun league. And you saw it tonight, a lot on the line, and those guys raced hard and still did it with respect. And man, next season's going to be better.
Absolutely. We can't wait to see you in 2 weeks when the season kicks off again. The Outlaw roster will be out before week number 1 on where your favorite driver will be set for their division at c2crl.com. That's going to do it. Thanks for joining us all season long for Monday Night Madness. On behalf of everyone at the Coast to Coast Racing League, Weekend Speedway, our admins in charge, Roger Craig and Preston Cranmer. Special thanks to our race control directors all season long, putting on a great run. On behalf of my broadcast partner, John Hine, and all my many broadcast partners this season, I'm Marty Sakala. Congratulations to your champions for Monday Night Madness. And the Raiders, congratulations to Jack Hitt. The Rebels to Brennan Lacey. And in the Renegades to Patrick Spangler. So long, everyone.